WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Subaru of Gwinnett. You'll love the difference. The Morning Extra, only on Extra 106.3.
Morning, y'all. It's Friday, and preseason football is back. Got the Falcons and Lions tonight. Dude, it is... we're sliding right into the fall, and I know we had a bit of a faux fall the last several days or whatever with the temperature's not creeping up as high.
I got 75 degrees for a couple days. I was happy.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm with you.
Now I'm back into 65 degrees because I'm inside the building.
I know.
We're both bundled up.
Dude, I always wear sleeves
every morning.
In this place. You have to, man. This place will freeze you down. Look, I know they got to keep the equipment cool. I get it all. It was the same way in the Navy, man, in the operations areas, in the
equipment runs hot.
Center. Absolutely.
If you're ever in any sort of broadcast studio, you'll say to yourself, man, it's really comfortable in here. Then you go into the control room, and that's the home of Jure. The equipment in there runs hot. So they really got to keep the AC pumping in there to keep him comfy, too. It's also another reason why, like, if you have any food in there, and it has any sort of smell to it, and the room's hot, that's why people get really upset with some of the stuff that goes in the control room.
Exactly.
It's just what happens.
Man, there was a guy at this place I worked one time who would always bring in leftover fish and warm it up.
That's wrong.
Oh, it was so gross.
I used to work with a gentleman who works down the hall. For some reason, Chuck Oliver did not like any of my spicy... In this case, I would go down the street and I would get drunken noodles. Mm-hmm. And I think it was just whether it was the red pepper or something would bother him. And he's like, you can't eat this here. Like, you got to get out of the studio.
Was he allergic or something?
I just think he could smell it. I just think it irritated him a little bit. And I was like, hey, respect.
Yeah, sure.
It's hot. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, but those things are, dude, red pepper smells so good.
I thought so, too.
They smell good. I've never heard of anybody that like the way red peppers smell.
For some reason, maybe it was messed with his eyes. Who knows what it was? But I was like, respect, that's fine. I'll go eat it somewhere in the other part of the building.
I just found out that one of my son's buds is allergic to cayenne pepper. And
what a horrible life.
No kidding.
Cayenne's great.
No kidding. But there's so much cayenne in so many different foods that you would never even expect. And he can't have, he is like, it really makes me sick.
That's the story of 5 years of being vegan. You have to put really great seasoning on a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
And most of it's hot.
Yeah, sure.
Most of the time you're going like, ooh, my God, like it's burning. But if you just try and eat regular food where you're like, okay, here's some fruits and vegetables, or here's what, and you don't add anything to it, it gets bland and boring pretty quick.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. I never liked, you're talking about odors you don't like. I never liked the smell of curry. Do you like curry? Because my wife does. I don't.
I can take it or leave it. It doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like the way. I don't like the flavor. I don't like the smell. So if there is one that I'm like, ooh, that one's the one.
It doesn't do anything for me. Like I've never once been like, ooh, could really go for some curry.
Yeah, I know, but there are people that love like Indian food because there's a lot of curry in there.
But very spicy food.
Absolutely.
Which typically I'm all on board with. There's plenty of other Indian dishes outside of curry where I'm like, all right, bring it
absolutely,
on over here.
Yeah, so good. But that drunken noodles, man, I remember that time you bought it for us. So tasty, so delicious. I've never got tofu. I still don't have a taste for tofu. I think we've lost Run Off His Lows. Hang on, are you back?
Am I back?
Yes,
oh, wow.
You're back. There,
okay.
You're back. Welcome back.
That was kind of weird. I didn't even touch the microphone.
I know, right?
It just went off.
Quit working.
It
just got violent in there yesterday from 3 to 6.
Well,
yeah,
dude,
I guess so.
When we first came on, dude, the volume was at 11. Turn it up to 11.
When the Fox News update started, my headphones started blaring.
They're vibrating on the table.
I keep my volume right around about 60%.
Yeah.
All right, somebody must have been in, because there were a couple of things amiss in the control room when I first got here.
Well, it was cranked up all the way to 100. So whoever sits in here at this exact spot from 3 to 6.
No, I think it was post that. So there were some gremlins in here overnight.
Those phones cranked up pretty high.
Yeah, exactly right.
Whoa.
Did y'all see the Sphere in Vegas? Put Sydney Sweeney in her jeans on the big Sphere.
Good for them.
Dude, they're leaning into it.
It's what's hot.
Absolutely. And
well, Well, I mean, you want to talk about that. Can we talk about the more important aspect of what's going on?
Sure.
So I got a text message from a friend of mine, Joe. He's worked as an attorney for a long time in the area. And finally, he's converted, I think, fully to the app. For years, it's like, Joe, just get on the app.
Yeah, man.
And now he's been reaching out, and I know that I don't know if he's in the 4-hour club, but he's getting close.
Right on.
And he brought up with me, hey, it really made me laugh how you guys talked about that adult sex toy without ever saying what it was, where we did that a couple days ago at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
While you were sleeping, Tug.
Yeah, that's right.
We got a purple one that hit the floor last night.
What? Was it a West Coast game?
It was a later game.
Yeah.
So while you were sleeping, Purple Monster ended up hitting the floor.
Well, that's different, man. I mean, everything's been green so far.
All the girls had already traveled to the other side of the floor. Uh-huh. So this one came in an area where there was nobody. So it was like
everybody saw it.
Everybody saw it.
It didn't blend in with shoes.
They stopped the game and they zoom in from the video shot. Yeah, a lot of this is visual, so I'm just going to try and do my best to describe it. The coach kind of looks at it like, again?
Yeah.
Come on.
Again.
And the announcers are trying to deflect as to why they're having to take a random timeout without saying what is going on. Because it's the same policy. When you have a streaker on the field at a football game or a baseball game, they do not show it so they don't encourage it.
Right.
They're trying to do the same thing when it comes to these intruders of a certain size and girth that keep hitting the floor at WNBA games.
This is a purple donger.
Now, at some point, it will get a little old, but as an update to what people have been asking me about on the street, it continues. We've now had, I guess this would be the fourth that has hit the floor.
Yeah, and then you got the one dude that's being charged here in town. Have you seen that guy's mugshot? It's great.
Well, him and then the one from a couple nights ago. I think the guy from a couple nights ago, he looks like I'll put it this way. He's a bit of a wayward soul. I think he was like 22 and thought this would be really funny, and it is. But yeah, you're going to catch a case where you're going to have to explain something. And probably in the future when any employer says, well, have you ever been arrested? Have you ever been convicted of a felony? Well, no. Well, have you ever...
There was that one time.
when I look you up, what do I happen to find? And in this case, here, Tug, just to give you the update on here comes boom.
Oh, and it was an Atlanta game again.
Yep, in Chicago. Look, okay, now look at the coaching staff.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, really? Look, that pointing. The people are pointing like, look.
Dude's got his camera out taking pictures.
Dude's having to explain to his wife, yeah, here's what's happening here.
He waited to the dead end of the game, too.
Waited till the end of the game, last 5 seconds of the fourth quarter, and it hits the floor. And everybody has to do all right, you got us again. You got us again.
I love it. I wonder how long it does go. Because this is, like, you're right, it'll get old after a while.
I think Sydney Sweeney does have more legs right now.
Well, yeah.
Like, that's now been a good 2 weeks of what that's been in the pop culture lexicon of what goes on in this world.
Well, yeah, and the company's leaning into it. Ain't nobody leaning into that.
No. Yeah, every other company that is into, let's say, like design a product is trying to figure out how do we replicate what American Eagle did.
Duncan did with the dude.
Yeah.
And it didn't get as much play, but it got a little splash. And that's good. And it was I can't even remember what exactly happened or how it all went down. But
did you see like the new Sydney Sweeney ad?
No, I must not have seen that.
Oh, man, I am really catching you up. See, here's the problem. I ended up watching Unsolved Mysteries last night while I was watching the Braves game. And so, for some reason, I'm on top of the pop culture right now.
No kidding, dude.
Tug is the one where he's like, oh, explain this to me.
Yes, please, lay it all out.
So, this is another one that you're going to, let's see if I can bring this up and get the actual video of this. Let me see. You're going to have to give me a second as I'm vamping here trying to find this. And so... The fun part about it is you now have a number of these companies that are just going like, okay, how do we catch a little bit of that energy? Like, can we
There's the Dunkin' ad. Yeah.
Here we go. This is the ad that she's now in where
she's eating ice cream.
It's the Baskin Robbins.
Oh, wow.
And so it makes it all like, oh, and then there they are going like, here's what we're doing. And That's kind of the joke. It's like she's almost in a photo shoot, but not really.
Yeah, right? She's such a cutie.
So it's for Baskin Robbins.
Yeah, dude, she's making grips of money. She's got so much money coming in, and she probably already had a ton anyway. And the fact that her star is burning brighter than ever before, and she's known to people who never knew her before, right? There was the people that knew her just because she's a really pretty girl.
There's the shot that you have
of the sphere.
Of the sphere.
Yeah. Which I think is great, man. I love the fact that they're leaning into it.
So I do believe this does have a lot longer staying power and a lot more discussion than very large sex toys hitting the floor at the WNBA
game.
But I do not discourage. Okay. No. Also, I do not encourage either.
Yeah.
I don't want to get any of these young women hurt. They're professional athletes, y'all. But don't stop. Make it a point. Like, y'all are. If you do this, you're in timeout. You should not be allowed to go anywhere near a professional game. Watch it at home. And then I don't really think it's that funny. It's pretty funny.
It's really funny. My thing is...
But then again, I laugh at when it happens at NFL games.
Of course.
So I'm a child. I'm a 12-year-old child.
But that's the whole point, right? It's so weird and odd and awkward and gross all at the exact same time, but you can't...
And generally harmless.
And generally harmless. Exactly right. Except when, if you got it...
It's not like I'm throwing a rattlesnake on the field.
But if you got
Oh, look, go deal with that.
Yeah, right? It'd be a mess. But then if you're...
Gets the same reaction, though.
Probably does. Oh, what's that? Get away.
Is it going to bite me?
Run. Run. But if you were to be watching it, which I'm not sure why you would, nobody else does, or going to a game, now having, explaining to the kids, what just happened. Oh, somebody lost their shoe. It's fine. Nothing to see.
Well, I did have my 14-year-old daughter who did ask when I was showing this to my wife, what's happening? I was like, nothing. Nothing's happening at all.
Nothing. She probably has already caught on.
I'm sure they're in high school.
Absolutely.
Social media.
It's hard for them to miss it.
They learn a lot of things a lot faster.
Yes. That's why you have to be. The communication has to be.
I don't believe when I was 14, I would know what that is.
No doubt. Yeah, I would have no clue.
Other people have grown a lot faster than we have.
Well, access, man. Just the fact that there's nonstop 24/7.
Damn you, Jobs!
Yes, right.
Give me that iPhone in 07 changed everything.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I try not to be a guy that's just continually in my phone. We work throughout the day, so it does happen. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. But I pulled up to get gas this morning at Atlanta-based racetrack, and everybody that I parked next to were in the gas pumping, but they were in their car reading.
On their phone?
Yeah, on their phone. Not just one, not just two. There was 7 or 8, and because I was standing out there pumping gas. It's early in the morning. I was halfway asleep, trying to figure it all out, wiping the sweep. And I just couldn't help. I felt like I was in a movie scene or something because everybody was doing the exact same thing.
It is strange when you look at crowds and to see the amount of people. Like the one I've always found, the phenomenon, the amount of people that will pick up their phones to record an event at a concert happening in front of them rather than watching the concert.
I know.
It's the same thing, but it's interesting. We're almost we're like moth to a flame when... And this I know is a little bit of a sports offshoot, but when the Dallas Cowboys opened up their stadium, Jerry World, when you would go to games, it was crazy to see how many people would stare at the 60-yard indoor screen with the game in front of them.
I don't know that that's a good example because how can you not look at that?
Because they're just staring. But Tug, the game is down in front of you.
I know. Can I give you an example? Something similar. And I try not to do it at church. They have these 2 huge, every Sunday, the pastor's here, but they have these 2 big screens, right and left.
Tug goes to a mega church.
Well, it is, it's about 5,000 members.
Wow.
And I mean, looking, and it's just right, you can't help it. It's gigantic. It's right there. And I've even asked my wife and son, I was like, do y'all ever watch Pastor Jeff? Or do y'all watch the huge screens like I do? And usually it's they say back and forth because there will be a certain thing that'll bring me back to away from the big screen and looking at him, and I like it better when I'm not looking at the screen. However, The screens are so gigantic, like you're talking about with Jerry World. They're not that big, but it just lures you away. It lures your attention.
I mean, it's different. The church I go to looks like the same one that Forrest Gump went to.
Dude,
we don't have screens.
The church that I grew up in, you could touch the ceiling, so it is awkward. It took me
You traded up.
It took me a long time to get used to a church that big. But they don't do like multiple campuses or anything like that. It's just one big church.
We just have wooden pews and old Bibles.
Yeah, I love those. I miss those. I always say it to my wife. It's funny you bring that stuff up. I always say to my wife, I wish, because I'm not the biggest contemporary Christian music fan. And Chris Tomlin, who's huge in contemporary Christian, used to go to our church, and now he lives in Nashville. There's another lady who is a worship leader, won a Grammy in contemporary Christian music.
Oh, no, you left the church when it came to contemporary Christian music?
Yeah. Well, I didn't leave. I'm still there. But I just...
the church.
But I want them to sing hymns. Like, I want to hear...
classics.
Yes.
Yeah, things that are traditional.
Just one a morning. Give me one a morning, Perimeter Church. Please give me one a morning. That's all I ask for.
Said you're busted into these, like rock hybrid Jesus songs.
Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely. 100%. Dude, rock and roll band.
Got your Friday hymn right here.
Here we go. There we go.
There's your Friday hymn.
Let's go.
Here comes George Jones, everybody.
Look, he loved the Lord. I know he did. But let me tell you, he was not afraid to have a nip and get on his lawnmower and drive to the gas station to get some more liquor store.
The possum was not kidding around.
His wife Nancy took his keys. Y'all remember that story? Took his keys and he got on his tractor and drove to the liquor store.
Attaboy.
And got pulled over.
Some of those renegade country guys, like they lived it, man.
And it was so fun. The balance is interesting because most of them were very, very faithful men.
Yeah. But they were also kind of like, listen, I'm a little bit of a rebel rouser, maybe a drunk sometimes.
This is that picture of Johnny Cash sitting in the bush eating a cake.
Yeah, or the one of him flipping off the camera. Yeah. Dude, Elvis Presley, obviously he had his issues. The only Grammys he ever won was 3 in gospel music. He didn't win any in country or rock or R&B or anything. It was just 3 gospel. There you go. Well, I'm just glad it's Friday, and I'm glad we started the way we did.
Yeah. I mean, we were going to get into a whole lot of good stuff going on politically. You're just going to have to wait a couple more minutes.
Yeah, that's right.
Because we really had to get into updated of the purple monster that hit the floor and other things like that. That's right. I know what you like, America.
Yeah, that's right. We keep up.
Talking about this silliness.
Yes. We know what makes us smile. We know what makes us laugh. I know what makes people vote. And that is usually these crazy taxes. Voters are choosing low common sense or low tax and common sense states at the clip of about $200 billion. Talk about that next on Extra 106.
When conflicts escalate around the world, don't let the mainstream media scare you into believing their narrative. Get it right with Atlanta's only conservative voice. And trust the Morning Extra, Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck, The Kimmer Show, and our entire lineup to give it to you straight. Don't buy the fear. Just keep it here. Extra 106.3 FM and the all-new Extra app.
I'm going to try to weave this together, and you can let me know if I've done a good job at the end. Facelifts are on the rise. Facelifts. You know why? Because people are using Ozempic. They're losing weight at an incredible clip. And what happens is you got that extra skin because you've lost all this weight relatively quickly. So facelifts are back. And they are up like 400% or something. Call it Ozempic face. Give a facelift to your home. You can do that with new windows, a new door, make it energy efficient, make it beautiful, make it the envy of the neighborhood, make it the love that you had for your home the day you moved in. Give it that facelift, and it won't be because of Ozempic. It'll be something much more beneficial than Ozempic, because I think there may be some side effects on there that are questionable. But they will do you a good job there at Southern Exteriors. I've used those guys and enjoy the fact that they're local here to Atlanta. They're actually owned in Atlanta. They're actually a locally owned business. They're not a big conglomerate that says, yeah, we're based in Jackson, Georgia, but they're not really. So that's the thing. Work with somebody that lives in the community with you, maybe goes to church with you, maybe is in the cul-de-sac with you. They will do you. They'll do you upright at Southern Exteriors. They'll give you a deal here. You can get 12 months 0% financing or 10% off any job at Southern Exteriors. Call them at 877-9-SouthernExteriors.co.
This is Tom with the Honest Car Guy.
Hey, what's with all this honesty stuff?
We help you buy your next pre-owned car or truck honestly.
How honestly?
We guarantee that each vehicle we sell will come with a bill of sale showing what we paid for the vehicle. You'll pay what we pay, plus an honest fee. Guaranteed.
No gimmicks or tricks?
Nope.
Man, this sounds like a new way to buy a car.
Get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1 or visit honestcarguy.com.
The right partner makes all the difference. For more than 185 years, we've forged personal relationships with our customers and communities, funding economic development and rallying around the causes that are important to our neighbors. With the technology, products, and expertise you'd expect from a big bank and the local decision-making and commitment to community from your neighborhood bank, United Bank Shares is your trusted financial partner for life. Learn more at bankwithunited.com. United Bank Shares, member FDIC.
Neil Borch here. Maybe you've already taken the steps to improve your health, maybe save your life. You're using a CPAP for your sleep apnea. I've been using one for well over 20 years. So right now I'm here to tell you about a source for CPAPs and CPAP supplies here in the Atlanta area. CPAPs, etc. They're in Alpharetta. They have whatever you need. Roddy and Sharon are your CPAP experts, and they'll ship nationwide. More information, CPAPs.com.
My name is Patrick, and I'm the Military Outreach Manager at the Warrior Alliance. I served in the U.S. Army as an airborne ranger and deployed to several combat zones in support of the global war on terror. Veterans bring excellence through our work ethic, skills, and civic duty. However, transitioning to civilian life can be difficult, as we all share a loss of purpose when leaving the military. Returning veterans have earned and deserve our support so they can thrive on their journey home. The Warrior Alliance understands the challenge and is helping warriors navigate to success after service. Join us in changing thousands of lives for the better. Donate today at thewarrioralliance.org.
Living with everyday pain is like having a voice that always says, no, you can't do that. No, you better sit this one out. It's no way to live. So if pain is affecting you, see how Relief Factor can help get you back to life on your terms. One where you say yes a lot more. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor's unique formula of natural ingredients does not just mask pain, it helps reduce or eliminate it for good. Whether it's your back, neck, joints, or muscles, Relief Factor can help you, as it has for so many others. So call 1-800-4RELIEF and give Relief Factor's 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day to get your life back. Just go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. And see how you can say yes to more of everything you want.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Friday, August 8th. The Cobb County 911 system received a major technology upgrade, launching Next Generation 911. The new system provides more accurate call routing and allows callers to send text, pictures, and video. Officials say it will cut down on response time across the board and improve reliability during major incidents and natural disasters. The Secret Service confiscated nearly 24 credit card skimmers in Metro Atlanta. The devices were attached to card readers at checkout points in several grocery stores and gas stations. It's part of a broader effort to crack down on fraud. Officials say to be on the lookout when paying and always check before swiping or tapping your card. Georgia ranks second in the nation in consumer fraud. And if you're looking for a new four-legged friend, head to Forsyth County this weekend. The Forsyth County Pet and Adoption Resource Center is holding a Clear the Shelter event on Saturday from 10:30 to 5. The shelter will be waiving all adoption fees to make it easier for pets to find their forever home. Today's weather partly cloudy and temperatures reaching the low 80s. No rain in the forecast this weekend, but we'll keep those cooler temperatures. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
We've seen it. This is not a surprise. It shouldn't be a surprise that people are moving away from bad policy in bad states for taxes to states that make good decisions and have favorable taxes. Hundreds of billions, and I know this sounds crazy, hundreds and hundreds of millions, billions are leaving the state of New York and California, and most of them are moving south.
So I met a neighbor friend of ours over at the pool a couple weeks ago, and she talked about how her and her family had moved from New Jersey, lived there, grew up there, still had family there, and she brought up her property taxes. I think she told me that they were spending, I think it was $22,000 a year in property taxes.
Unreal, dude.
And now, remember, they also have a state income tax there as well.
That's right.
She's like, we are just being taxed to death out of there. She goes, I moved south. And granted, like the area we live in, the home is the home and the taxes are going to be higher. But it's nowhere close.
Not even the same.
We're talking, it's not even 20% of what she was paying before.
People like her are moving south. Listen to this number, dude. Listen to this number of the people that are leaving New York and California specifically.
Look at this, 2 million people. This is on net. That is, how many people moved into Florida minus the number of people who moved out? Almost 2 million.
Wow.
Look at Texas, 1.5 million. And then, what's
this is really most important, though, right? It translates into big-time money.
Look at this money. $200 billion of income has flowed into Florida, and that's probably a low estimate. Texas is second, but you can see what that's telling you is that the people moving to Florida, they have a lot of money.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because there's major companies also moving down there and they're taking their employees with them. It's so weird, though, to me, Steve, and we've talked about this for a long time, that a lot of times people will leave a place like New Jersey because of the onerous taxes, the regulations, they can't start a business, they can't raise a family, and then go to somewhere else and still vote the same way. It's weird.
But that's changed, actually,
that is changing,
a lot.
right?
So
because Florida is kind of proven
Texas is redder today than it's ever been, and Florida is redder today than it's ever been. You know what's happening is all the Republicans out of New York and New Jersey are moving to Florida and Texas. The thing that's really amazing, when you look at these numbers, about $250 billion of investment capital has flown into Florida and Texas.
Right.
You know where most of that has come from?
New York.
And California.
Yeah.
So this...
It's unreal.
Yep.
But the thing that's relieving for me, because it's always been how many times have I brought it up? Don't come here and vote the way you voted there. And they're showing, at least in that model, that it's mainly the people that want away from all the craziness that are coming here, like your neighbor.
Yes, and oftentimes it's the capital, it's the money that's coming. It's the
$200 billion to Florida alone.
It's the company that says we've had it. It's too difficult to run here. And I think it really points out when you look at these states, because remember, states can have regulations as well. That's not just a federal situation. You can have your state regulations. When it becomes very difficult to operate due to regulations in a given state, you have so many of these. Even an In-N-Out burger was like, enough. We're going to Tennessee. It's like, enough. We can't run this way any longer.
That'd be like Chick-fil-A leaving Georgia.
Yeah,
that's the type of.
What kind of conditions did you set up? Where Chick-fil-A said we're bailing.
And that's exactly what happened to In-N-Out. Now, let's take it a step further, because you have Mom Donnie in New York talking about how everything's going to be free. Everything's free. Well, we all know that is bull. Nothing is free. Somebody's paying for it. And you have Pocahontas Warren and him talking about how, no, people, why would anybody leave? We're going to make it better for them. No, you're not. That chart, what they just discussed, shows you how wrong Mom Donnie and Elizabeth Warren are and what that's going to do for New York City.
If you want to listen back, I think it was last Thursday, 8 o'clock hour. That's when we had our interns. It was the last week that they were going to be in the studios before they headed off to college or headed back to where they were headed to. And so we got a chance to sit them down and ask them these questions. And one of the things that we heard from Meadow was, and remember, she's a sophomore at Florida State. She goes, nothing's free.
Yeah, immediately. Like the natural reaction to, and again, she'd been working over on the sports side. She'd been nowhere near us. She's like, well, nothing's free. And understood that as like a 19, 20-year-old college student. That's common sense.
So when you have these people in New York that are telling you, well, it's all free, it's like those have to be weird buzzwords to anyone who, if you live in kind of that tier where I don't make a lot of money and I don't have a lot of responsibility, and so suddenly if you tell me that you're taking away my transit bill and you're taking away, my ability to maybe run to the grocery store here and there.
Childcare, too.
And childcare is a possibility. Okay, that might be a little bit of appealing. But if you, and especially in New York's expensive. There's a reason why. If you ever want to know the difference in New York and everywhere else, go look at job postings for New York and see how much that they're going to give you. Like, it's significantly more money that you'll make in New York versus somewhere else.
Yeah, but
because of the expenses are there.
All into it.
So what happens? So what happens when they're talking about free stuff for these other people? It's going to be on you. The person who's making some money there to pay for it.
That's exactly right. And here's the other thing. And you can give me this soapbox for just a minute. Born and raised in Northwest Georgia, I've been told my whole life how dumb Southern people are, how dumb traditional values are. And this is my big bird finger in the air. I told you so. I'm so sick of hearing that. I'm so tired of hearing it. And it's been proven again and again and again, doing things the way we've done it in these southern states when it comes to individual freedoms, when it comes to freedom of speech, when it comes to low taxation, when it comes to traditional values. We've had it right the whole time. I've been told my whole life, 48 years, that, it's them dumb Southern people. They're so dumb down there. All of a sudden, we don't look so stupid, do we? Because y'all all moving here.
We have economies here. Now, granted, nothing's California. California is huge, has all the natural resources.
In the world.
It's what it is. Yeah. But we have economies here that are advantageous to people that are entrepreneur in nature and want to start business. There's a reason why people want to be in the state of Tennessee.
That's right.
Texas, Florida. Now,
absolutely.
I know that when I look at the property taxes in Texas, there's a part of me that goes, all right, I get that why my property taxes are significantly less, but I do have a state income tax.
That's right. Yeah, it's a balance.
Because there's a part of me that goes, man, if we could just get rid of the state income tax, that would be great. Yeah, but you're going to get the money one way or another.
Yeah, do you pay it in groceries?
Where are you going to catch it?
Because that's what Tennessee, there's a tax on grocery. In Georgia, there's no tax on your groceries.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a little bit. It's
or
just
at least,
set up a little
at least some of the groceries.
There's items that are subject to taxation versus others that are not.
Vegetables, healthy foods, fruits, and stuff like that. I think there's no. I think that's the way it goes.
You have to pay taxes on all your sodas.
That's right. Now all your.
You just can't stop yourself.
And all your beer.
I got all my beer.
Yeah, that's right. And that's the thing that I see is just people saying, "Okay, I've had enough," and the only thing that Mum Donnie when that happens, and I feel convinced that it will, he's polling above 50% already. When that happens, and you're going to see people who don't typically vote Republican also leaving the state. You're going to have people that are just like, we can't do this anymore.
So my wife has basically her best friend when she was growing up. Went to college together, in each other's weddings, both, maid of honor each way, all that sort of good stuff. She even made it a point with her and her husband and their young son. They're like, we can't do this here anymore in California. And she was there for a good 20 years. They moved to a small town in North Carolina. Small, quiet town.
Love it.
Everything's affordable, a lot more chill, a lot easier to raise a family.
Less to be angry about.
Yeah. This is what they decided. They were just like, we're getting out. We're done. Like, we're going to move all the way across the country to something a little bit more simple.
And when you point out that in just businesses alone, this is not just individuals, but businesses, $200 billion. I have a hard time wrapping my head around the size of that number. $200 billion moved to Florida alone. Moved to Florida alone. Can you imagine if you took North Carolina and Georgia and Tennessee and Florida and Texas and Louisiana, wherever, all these southern states, where it's more advantageous to live because the taxes are lower and people stay out of your business. Can you imagine what that number would be just from those two states alone for all the Southeast? It would be astronomical.
The other part to me is this, Tug, because we talk about, obviously the sororities and fraternities and what they're doing and how difficult it is now to get into SEC schools.
Because everybody wants to be there.
There is this yearning for freedom. And part of me thinks that a lot of that comes from the people that dealt with 2020 moving forward. Like those kids suddenly that were like, wow, freedom can be taken away pretty quickly. I want to be in a place that's pretty free. And a lot of them gravitated towards Southern universities.
Well, because those are the only ones open.
They were the only ones that were free.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, you were paying for it. But I'm just saying, as you even brought up, at Auburn, they were number one in the country for free speech.
That's right.
In little old Auburn, Alabama.
Number one.
Remember, that's supposed to be, you're in the boonies, all
bunch of racist.
Dumb Southern redneck racists.
Yep.
Number one for free speech. Georgia Tech in the top 10.
In the top 10. Dead last, Harvard. I thought that was the bastion of freedom of speech. I thought that was the bastion of freedom. Turns out
it's the place you go for indoctrination.
That's exactly right.
But I think it all kind of couples together at this point.
I do too.
Where it's you have young people heading here. You have People that are obviously more mature. You have retirees that head this direction because they want to, get the tax benefits to go along with it. People are moving to these areas. In California, for the first time in their state's history, it's now 5 straight years they're losing population. That had never happened until 2021.
And then you throw in the cultural victories too. That's not even the most. I mean, well, pretty important to me, but it's not even. But when you break it all out, that's probably the one that people look at the least because they're going to look at the dollar signs because that's what gets the headlines. $200 billion. I understand why it gets the headlines. But when you see those kids that are comfortable making a video about, joining our sorority, or you see, here's the other thing, you see American Eagle Outfitters get the backlash from that small minority of people, and they didn't budge.
Not at all. In fact, people started buying all their stuff. In fact, and this was the genius aspect of what they did. If I am a parent, and I am, and I need to get my kid a pair of jeans, and it doesn't really matter what kind of jeans they're going to wear, let's go to American Eagle, see if you like a pair.
Why not? Why not just throw them a bone?
Yeah. And that happened to the tune of like a 30% rise in their stocks, and to the point where they were being bought out of their jeans because the more that the left screamed about it, the more it was, well, why don't we do this? Again, we don't organize boycotts, but we just decide we're not buying something, or we decide, hey, let me go buy more of that.
Or we are going to. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. This is not like an organized deal. Hey, let's all go over to American Eagle and buy something. It was just, if it's going to upset Aunt Peg, baby girl, let's put you in a pair of American Eagle jeans and you rock those things to her house when we're over there on Sunday.
The new right, as Lowe's calls it.
That's what we do. We have lived long enough, Tug, where now what we're doing is cool. And I don't specifically ever look to be cool or anything. I don't try to dress it. I don't try to go anywhere. I always talk about it. If I show up somewhere, I'm not looking to be seen. I'm just looking to put a pair of headphones in and listen to a show and have a beer.
Yeah.
But now that's cool.
Yeah, right.
A lot of this stuff is cool.
Absolutely.
Keeping to yourself, supporting freedom, it's all cool.
Donald Trump's back in hip-hop songs.
He's cool.
He is. He's the coolest of the cool band. And it was funny because I was never even a Trump fan. I mean, never. I never watched The Apprentice. I didn't know anything about him.
He's Fonzie. And what's Fonzie like?
Yeah, very cool.
He's cool.
He taps on the jukebox and it starts playing. Donald Trump probably owns the jukebox. It just says, go over there and hit B17.
There are going to be like 3 little Fonzies on this radio show.
That's exactly right. Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Xtra on Xtra 106.3. Since we're talking about Trump, let's keep it there. He's got the Russians and Ukrainians meeting face to face before he comes in and closes the deal. What about it next? Xtra 106.3.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Friday, August 8th. From the NFL, the Atlanta Falcons open up their preseason schedule tonight from Mercedes-Benz Stadium as the Detroit Lions will play their second preseason game after taking part in the Hall of Fame game last week. Kickoff is set for 7 o'clock. The Falcons plan to give extended time on the field to their rookies, including first-round picks Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr. The Atlanta Braves, their 3-game losing streak is over after a late-inning rally makes up for a 4-run deficit, beating the Miami Marlins 8-6 the final. Game 2 of 4 is set for tonight. Bryce Elder and Edward Cabrera will be on the mound. First pitch is set for 7:15. You can hear that game live on our sister station's brand new app, 680 The Fan. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Good morning, Mike. What you eating?
You gotta try this.
I can hear you crunching from the next cube over.
This is amazing. I just discovered it this weekend at Lidl. It's Greek Goddess Gourmet Granola. They were sampling it, so I tried it. Then I bought 6 bags.
Wow. Is it cereal?
Can be. Or an amazing trail mix. It's great for a meal or a snack.
What's in it?
Well, they have 2 flavors, maple oat and harvest nut, which is my favorite. It's made with whole grain oats, almonds, pecans, raisins, coconut, and the sweet taste of pure maple syrup. Maple oat is a simpler take on their delicious granola. It's got wholesome oats, plump raisins, coconut, and maple syrup.
That sounds healthy and delicious.
That's why I can't stop crunching, Susan.
Greek Goddess Gourmet Granola. It's a breakfast or on-the-go snack you can feel good about. It's dairy-free and gluten-free, and with only 2 grams of added sugar per serving, even your belly will love it. Pick some up at Lidl, Amazon, GreekGoddessGourmet.com, or at specialty stores near you.
Gentlemen, listen up. When it's not hard, it's really hard. Did you know that 50% of men over 50 have some form of ED? It's true, and I'm one of them. ED followed me everywhere. Heck, even my initials are ED. I'm Dr. Eric Deal from Total Body Therapy of Georgia, and I know ED. It can lead to feelings of embarrassment, stress, and sadness. But there's good news. I can fix it. I fixed mine, and I can fix yours too. At Total Body Therapy of Georgia, we are experts in the P-shot, testosterone replacement, regenerative therapy, trimix to create an erection, and more. Guys, ED won't get better on its own, but I can help you today. Call us at 404-777-1911. That's 404-777-1911, or learn about us more online at tbtofga.com. So take it from me, ED, Dr. Eric Deal at Total Body Therapy of Georgia. Call 404-777-1911 or online at tbtofga.com.
A couple years ago, I was in the bathroom at the airport when I dropped my smartphone in the toilet. Not smart. I was multitasking when I should have been focused on the job at hand. Embarrassing, but I'm not alone. According to Google, 7 million other multitaskers accidentally dropped their phones into the bowl last year. A gentle reminder that right now you can get yourself a brand new Samsung Galaxy A36 absolutely free with a $35 plan from Pure Talk. The A36 comes with scratch-resistant Gorilla Glass and a battery that'll last all day, along with unlimited talk, text, and data on America's most dependable 5G network. In other words, it's tough and smart. Something to think about next time you're multitasking in the necessary. Just dial pound 250, say keyword micro to get your free phone today. You can make the switch in just 10 minutes. That's pound 250. Say micro to switch to a no-nonsense smartphone and a company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
It's August 8th, and this is your Fox Daily Snapshot. Today is International Cat Day, put together in 2002 by the International Fund for Animal Welfare to celebrate arguably the most popular pet on the planet. Also on this date, in 1974.
Therefore, I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow.
The Watergate scandal forces President Nixon to announce that he would leave office. The first president to do so, he would step down the next day.
Vice President Ford will be sworn in as president at that hour.
Sonia Sotomayor is the first Hispanic justice to serve on the U.S. Supreme Court when she's sworn in 2009. An EF2 tornado touches down in Brooklyn, New York, the first in that New York City borough since 1889. And 99 years later, temperatures hit 88 degrees in the city. On this date, 8/8/88. I'm CJ Papa. That's your Fox Daily Snapshot.
Extra 106.3 personalities aren't afraid to tell it like it is.
Without Donald Trump, nothing that's going on would be happening right now. Donald Trump is changing the world.
And you'll never hear us spew that violent rhetoric from the left. So don't be afraid to tell it like it is. Because we're happy to have you as part of the Extra community.
I particularly like Donald Trump's actions in getting illegal aliens the hell out of this country.
Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
I'm going to show you, Los, a picture. And this is not a picture that you would normally equate to Donald Trump, or at least...
What is it?
I'd never considered it before, and it just hit me last night as I was sitting there that Donald Trump is the ultimate make love, not war president.
So we're back to 1960 slogans at this point.
Kinda. Think about it. Traditional values, traditional families, have a child, create wealth for yourself, and he's putting stops to wars all around the country. So you get back to those traditional values. Just think he's hosting Armenia and Azerbaijan. They've been fighting for decades and decades and decades. He's going to host them in the White House. Guess what they're going to do? Signed a peace deal. Just another. When's the last time you heard about Azerbaijan or Armenia, for that matter? I hadn't thought about them in a while.
Almost feels like he goes to his staff and says, "Hey, where are they fighting?
Let me go.
Where are they
see if I can
causing
go."
some upset situations to a marketplace? Let's see if we can fix this." Now, the big one looks like it'll go down next week at some point. We'll get together with Putin. If you missed some of the information from yesterday, you did have some of the representatives of the Russian contingent that made a point that what's been proposed from Donald Trump over the phone is acceptable to them.
Yeah.
That is their latest. Now, takes two to tango here.
It does.
So hopefully we're getting closer to a resolution there as well.
I would think so. And Trump was like, "Hey, I want Putin and Zelensky to sit down before I actually come into the meeting. I want them to sit down and see if they can come to something." And then he comes in like the closer.
That's going to be hard.
Yeah. But that's what he said wants to happen.
I mean, in part, one of the things that I don't want to say, because this is not general across all warfare. Like when it came to us fighting World War II, we never targeted the emperor. All right. Whereas when it came to fighting the Nazis, it was, how do we get Hitler's head?
We got to get him.
Because we understood the difference in what was going on there. You've had Zelensky and Putin actually target each other.
Yeah.
Which for heads of state, that's typically kind of a no-no depending on how brutal the war is. And I guess it's that brutal that targeting your opponent, the opposite head of state, that's when the gloves come off. So I think it'd be very hard to get them in a room.
I got to tell you, man, I think it's going to happen. I really do. I think it's going to happen. UAE is supposed to happen in the United Arab Emirates. Trump said, "I want them to speak first. Then I'm going to come in and speak with them." But he said it was imperative that Zelensky be there because originally the Russians were like, "No dice, not going to do it," much like you're saying. But now it seems like they've thawed to it, and we'll see how it shakes out. But and you know, the flip side of that is that Russia's just dragging their feet because today's the deadline for him to say, "Hey, I told you 10 or 12 days.
You got 60 days. Let's get this thing
done."
done.
He shrunk it down
to
this Friday.
Yeah.
Or today, rather. And so I'm eager to see what he's able to do. I mean, when you get Cambodia to stop fighting, when you get Azerbaijan and Armenia to stop fighting, you end the 12-day war. And it looks like, I mean, Gaza is either going to be a resort town, or B, they're going to figure out what to do there.
As it stands right now, you do have the Israelis that have said, we are looking to cede it over to someone that is not Hamas.
Yeah, because it can't continue to be Hamas.
No.
There's no way that can continue to be. And I think many of at least half the Palestinian people are to that point too, where they're like, we don't want them as our leadership.
And how did we get into this area now where suddenly Israel is the devil? Now, do I agree with all their tactics?
No,
well, hell no, because they fight a different sort of war, which is if we don't kill these people, they're going to breed and come kill us in 20 years.
Or next
year. Like it's a different sort. It's a brutal, absolutely 100% brutal style of warfare. If you tell me, well, they committed war crimes, I'd be like, yeah, what started it?
Yeah.
They both commit war crimes. I mean, this is not just a matter of, well, only one side is bad. I told you, it's like, listen, there's some of these conflicts, there's not a good guy. In this case, I'm just telling you, one of them was living, doing their thing. The other one hit him. But let's face it, the Israelis keep the Palestinians in an outdoor prison because they have to keep it in an outdoor prison because no one else in the Middle East wants them.
The Egyptians don't want them. The Jordanians don't want them. There's huge walls up to keep them out.
It's just when it's more complicated than just one is bad, one is good, one's war crime, one is not. Hamas, they're not starving their people. The Israelis are. Listen, Hamas is stealing all because food's a weapon in a famine environment.
Absolutely right.
Like we should know this from 30 years ago in Somalia. That's why we went in there. That's why we had the Black Hawk Down scenario. If you ever want to look into it, their warlords were using food dropped by the United Nations as a weapon. If we don't do what you want us to do, you don't get any food.
That is lower than low. I mean, I can't think of anything worse than taking your own people and weaponizing them to try to win some sort of conflict. But that's exactly what's happening. And I expect at some point there's going to be some pushback. Now, with Hamas, they're going to be bloody and brutal, so those people have to be so careful about the way they push back. But there's not a bit of me that believes that every one of those people that live in Gaza is supportive of Hamas. And you're seeing them. When they do get some of the food that is sent, the aid that's sent, they're saying thank you to Donald Trump for sending it because they believe that's who's on their side.
Well, I believe, what did he say as of like a week ago, that they had sent like $20 million worth of, and he's like... He talks about himself in the third person in a way that just makes me laugh. Nobody gave Trump credit. It's like, that's right. That's kind of funny. It's almost like he pushes the brand before anything, as in like the brand is the decision making. The brand is what's doing this. But if you can get a piece in that region of the world, don't you feel like you can get a piece just about anywhere? Yeah. Like, he's looking at the Russians and the Ukrainians going, you've been butchering each other for 3 years.
Why don't we just stop?
How about we end this?
And hopefully that'll be what he's able to accomplish. And
the Civil War went 4 years.
Yeah. I brought it up
World War II, our involvement went 4 years. Like 3 years is about enough, guys.
Dude, why don't you lay this down and actually do something that's constructive for both sides? But you got the Russians that know that Donald Trump is keeping tabs on them pretty closely, the way he's tariffing India for taking Russian oil. I mean, they've got a vested interest too. There's a reason they're going to the negotiating table. Whether it is to string them along or it is to get it done, they know they have to appear, at least to Donald Trump, as we're trying.
Yeah, that's the factor is going to be economic. And I think we've tried a little bit of everything. Now, obviously, during the Biden administration, it was, let's see how many billions of dollars we can pump into Ukraine in order to fight the Russians. And what did we tell you? The Ukrainians are losing. Yeah. They've lost every critical area they wanted to hold on to. They've lost their warm water port. They've lost everything that's an importance of a factor. Have they held on to the country? Yeah. But now you're in a stalemate.
But Russia never wanted the whole country.
No, they wanted the important regions, and they've got them.
And they've got them.
They've got the money makers. So now it's a matter of how can you get to a peace?
And the Kremlin, and I'm certainly not pro-Kremlin. I was
just telling them
they're both bad.
When I told people 2 years ago that the Ukrainians couldn't win, when I was like, they're not winning, wait till the spring. Yeah. I'm like, what are you going to do? The old adage always continues. You will run out of bullets before they run out of Russians.
And that's what's happening. That's exactly. And the Ukrainians are taking the younger men off the battlefield. Average age of a Ukrainian soldier, about 45 years old. So basically, you and I are the people out there on the front lines, not the spry 18-year-olds.
Because they're all gone. They either left the country or they're dead.
That and the very few that exist, they want to survive. They want them to survive to be able to have a next generation of Ukrainian people. Yeah. That's the way they're looking at it.
So now it's time for both ends. And again, we did the military pressure. Now Donald Trump is one who's introducing the economic pressure by basically cutting off your gasoline lifeline, your fuel lifeline. If you can't sell that stuff, you can't wage war.
The other
hopefully.
Hopefully that's the case, because the Chinese are still going to buy. They'll still have revenue coming in, but you're hoping to at least limit it. The other thing is the Kremlin was making fun of, this is a dictatorship, but they're making fun of the Ukrainians for canceling their elections last year. I mean, at least there's some comedy in it.
They haven't had an actual election in now, 5 years?
Yeah, probably somewhere around there. Yeah.
They're at war, so you can't possibly practice democracy.
No, it's hard to do that during wartime, although the United States did during the Civil War.
I mean, they went ahead and closed churches because, you got to do that during war.
Absolutely. The first 200 days of Trump, according to a not so favorable Trump pollster. Next on Extra 106.3, 6 o'clock hour, brought to you by Subaru of Gwinnett.
Your favorite Extra shows are streaming live video from the studio on Extra 106.3's YouTube channel. Subscribe to the Extra YouTube channel and get the Morning Extra and the Kimmer Show in live digital video.
Hi, I'm Chris Lalamia, owner of the Trusted Toolbox. Got a to-do list a mile long? No problem. We've got the ultimate solution, our Handyman for a Day program. Here's how it works. You get a skilled handyman dedicated to knocking out your honey-do list. Paint touch-ups, drywall repairs, door adjustments, and much more, all done in one day. Call us now before the rush for your Handyman for a Day and call us at 770-623-3097 or visit us at thetrustedtoolbox.com. One call, one handyman, one day, The Trusted Toolbox.
Modular and offsite construction is booming. If you're an architect, building engineer, supplier, developer, or contractor, you can't miss the Offsite Construction Summit, returning to the International Convention Center in Atlanta on August 19th. With the rising cost of traditional building, modular and offsite construction is changing the way companies build housing, retail, healthcare, restaurants, and more. So don't miss the Offsite Construction Summit on August 19th. This is your opportunity to create new business and learn from the industry's best. Register today at offsiteconstructionnetwork.com. That's offsiteconstructionnetwork.com.
The Dean's List with Janice Dean.
A handmade wooden cabinet called the Blessing Box makes today's Dean's List for helping others in Caldwell, Idaho. Since 2011, the cabinet was placed in the lobby of the Caldwell Police Department and has made a very big impact. It was placed there to help anyone in need to be able to find non-perishable food items, clothing, hygiene products, diapers, and wipes around the clock and always stocked. The idea came from an officer and his family, and over the last 8 years has been maintained and kept going by donations from the community. It's open 24/7 and always accessible, offering support and dignity to anyone that needs a helping hand. It's more than just a piece of furniture, it's a powerful symbol of a caring neighborhood. Caldwell Police Victim Witness Coordinator Liz Godina says it's a place where you can drop things off and take what you need. Here's hoping for more blessing boxes across the country. Janice Dean, Fox News.
Fox in the Fast Lane.
It had been over 5 months since William Byron tasted victory, but the driver of the number 24 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet got back into victory lane on Sunday.
Off turn 4 comes William Byron. Does he have enough? You betcha he does! William Byron! So close, but so good!
That was courtesy of USA Network as Byron won the Iowa Corn 350 at Iowa Speedway. It was Byron's second win of the Cup Series season and his first since the Daytona 500 in February. Chase Briscoe, Brad Keselowski, Ryan Blaney, and Ryan Preece rounded out the top 5. The Cup Series now makes a trip to Watkins Glen International on Sunday for the Go Bowling at the Glen with just 3 races remaining in the regular season. Shane Van Gisbergen will be looking for his 4th consecutive road course victory, a feat that has only been accomplished 3 times, though Chris Buescher is the defending winner at the track. For Fox in the Fast Lane, I'm Joe Morgan, Fox News.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Van Sant Law, vansantlaw.com.
Come home or be locked up? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That is the threat for Democratic Texas lawmakers who left the state to block a vote on congressional redistricting that could give Republicans 5 more House seats in the 2026 elections. Attorney General Ken Paxton tells Fox they'll try today to
get them back to the state of Texas, hold them in contempt, and if they refuse to come, hopefully put them in jail.
There's also an effort to remove the lawmakers from office. Democratic State Rep Mihaela Plisa tells Fox she's not coming back today.
They put redistricting hearings before flood victims on the agenda.
Hamas is calling Israel's new plan to escalate the fight and take over Gaza City a war crime. But U.S. Ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, just told Fox.
The response is they need to do exactly what the president says. They need to disarm, leave, and never think they have a future in Gaza again. It's absurd that they would even suggest that they're the good guys.
Israel's security cabinets approved the plan that would also include more food deliveries for Palestinians after Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu told Fox.
People say you can't both release the hostages and eliminate Hamas, and I disagree. I think so far we've shown that we can, and I intend to complete the job.
50 hostages still being held, 20 believed to be alive. Some of their families are protesting this plan, fearing more hostage deaths. President Trump and Russian leader Vladimir Putin may meet as soon as next week. Fox's Madeline Rivera reports.
There's a crucial deadline today. The president has threatened to slap more sanctions on Russia if it did not agree to a ceasefire with Ukraine. The president, though, appears to leave the ball in Putin's court.
Is your deadline still standing for Vladimir Putin to agree to a ceasefire tomorrow, or is that fluid now?
It's going to be up to him.
We're gonna see what he has to say.
2 Pennsylvania state troopers are recovering the morning after being shot and wounded, responding to a deadly shooting in Thompson that led to a standoff with the gunman.
He continued to be a threat, and he was shot by members of the Special Emergency Response Team.
And State Police Colonel Christopher Parris says he's dead. America's listening to...
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're a different kind of wireless company dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Because let's face it, our needs are different. Big wireless unlimited plans are designed for 20-somethings, not us. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on one thing, bringing you affordable, reliable rate plans that suit your needs, not ours. How do we do that? We start by using the same towers as the big guys, the exact same towers. We then create rate plans designed for your usage. The fact is, we can offer you an unlimited plan with the same network quality for less because we understand how you use wireless services. Our plans start at just $20 a month. And forget trying to chat with robots. You'll get 100% US-based award-winning customer service when you need help. Come find out how wireless should be and join the millions who've made the switch.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
I wake up every morning with the Morning Xtra.
It's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. And Front Office Los has got me laughing because of the way he's laughing. There's a there's a dude on some sort of ride that looks like it's it has to be a fair or carnival festival.
Yeah, it's definitely got a carny feel to it.
Yeah, and I can't tell you what the ride is. I don't know what it is. It's just moving, and it's people sitting in a round circle with bars across the top, and it just kind of rotates. I can't tell what the ride is or what it does, but this man
doesn't look awfully safe to start with.
No, because it's bouncing people around, and this one dude has lost his britches.
Yeah, his pants came
right down
out of there,
and so he's got these these brown boxer brief looking things.
This can't be America. These people look like they all look foreign.
Oh yeah, like Eastern European.
Yeah,
maybe?
Like you're in an Eastern European carnival ride that's pretty dangerous.
Good Lord. I've never seen anything quite like it, but this man's pants have come down, and he's doing his best as he's getting thrown around this ride to try to get his britches up, and it is not working.
It's really funny to watch.
It is super funny. That's when social media is at its best, right there.
That's right. Between that and throwing stuff on the court right now, again, my 12-year-old me is really excited with 40-year-old me going like, man, you're still having fun on this stuff?
You still have it, buddy.
Hey, we gonna go play games later? Yeah. I don't know. We'll see, buddy.
Maybe.
We'll see, buddy.
You can't ever tell.
Yeah, you want to throw a baseball? Can't do that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well.
Okay. All right.
I know because you had shoulder damage as a college pitcher in baseball. Are you able to hit at all?
Yeah.
Because we did the...
Yeah, I could still swing it. Yeah, not a problem.
That the thing during COVID. Remember they invited us all down to take BP at the Brave Stadium.
I can throw footballs all day, shoot baskets all day. For some reason, just because of the weight of the baseball, it causes that jarring where I get the bone-on-bone contact in the shoulder, and everything goes dead to my fingertips.
Oh, God.
It's like a lightning bolt runs through my entire shoulder.
Dude, that's no good.
Crazy feeling.
No good whatsoever.
And once it happens once, you're like, I don't need that anymore.
Yeah, I don't want to ever feel that again.
It freaks you out. You're like, oh, wow, that really hurt.
Gosh, man. It just seems like, because I went to the dentist yesterday, you get your teeth cleaned where they hit that one place and you're like, oh!
You're somewhere between arousal and wanting to cry.
Yeah. But
what happened? What'd you do?
That's right. And it feels like the lightning bolt description you gave was exactly the way I felt yesterday. And it's only like one spot that I ever have a problem with, but when they hit it, man, you almost come up out of that.
It's not something you say, hey, can you do that again?
Yeah, avoid that. And it's so funny because the lady who cleans my teeth is so sweet. She's got her first grandchild. So we've had this kind of relationship, this kind of conversation. But let me tell you, when she hit that spot, and then she was like, are you all right? Because, I came up. You're laid back.
Yep.
You have the glasses on. She's going, and you're like, oh! And then she says, are you all right? No,
I'm not.
All right.
I'm not all right. I've been violated. Something went wrong in this chair.
This hurts like hell. No, don't hit that spot again.
So that's how I feel when I grab a ball.
Oh,
yeah.
gosh.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. So anyway, glad you're here with us on the phone.
By the way, did you hear what happened? Now, this will never happen for us.
Oh.
To be very clear about it. Somebody in the building got to throw out the first pitch.
Oh, I heard it was Brian Finneran.
Brian Finneran,
down the hall.
Former Atlanta Falcon, our current coworker. He got to throw out the first pitch before the Braves game. Now, I wasn't in the stadium. I didn't get to see it, but I was trying to coach him through it a little bit when he told me he was going to do it. I was like, just point your shoulder at the target. I was like, start high, finish high. I was like, 'cause you don't want to bounce it.
No, that's the worst.
I was like, are they going to let you throw from the mound or in front of the mound? He's like, they haven't told us yet.
Well, just don't even ask. Just run up there.
Just get up on the mound.
That's right.
Just let it go.
Like Spencer Strider style.
And that's the other thing, too, and I was a little bit concerned about this. He was practicing beforehand with a glove. Good.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yep.
Can't take a glove out there.
They want you to take a glove?
Well, I wouldn't want to. You look kind of weird.
I guess you look crazy. Because, what would you need it
Like, what if I went out there in full Braves attire? Like, I insisted on the pants and everything else.
Like Unc?
That's right.
Unc Ozuna?
I want the jersey.
Yeah, that's right.
Give it all to me.
It's so weird. It is so weird.
I brought my glove, too.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Maybe one of these days, though, we'll get to throw out the first pitch.
Nah, probably.
It'd have to be tied to like national syndication. They're like, all right, we'll let these two jokers throw out the first pitch.
Yeah, you think? I don't think that's happening. You're more hopeful than I. I don't know about that. Donald Trump would be a perfect guy, maybe to throw out a first pitch. He's been doing so well, winning. Any team would be glad to have him. And Frank Luntz is a guy that is no Trump fan necessarily. But he's sharing the way you and me feel about these first 200 days of Donald Trump's second administration, and it's pretty glorious. It's exactly what we voted for. Listen to this.
If you voted for Donald Trump, this is exactly, almost to the letter, what you wanted. You didn't mind about the anger. You didn't mind the conflict between the Republicans and the Democrats. What you wanted was to make a border safe and secure, which they've done. What you wanted were tax cuts, which he's done. What you wanted was cuts to spending, which he's done. Element after element, he delivered exactly what he said he was going to do, and that's why his own voters believe that this has been an incredibly successful presidency.
Let me tell you, he said something that goes right in line with something you've brought up in the New Right. He said his voters, Donald Trump's voters, don't mind the conflict with Democrats or Republicans. They don't mind taking the fight to the people that are trying to ruin America, destroy America, open the borders, sell our soul. They're not afraid to say, no, that's not what we want, and we will fight for it.
I believe those that took part in this vote understand this, and this is what I think the other side, or those that didn't, or those are trying to figure us out, haven't quite wrapped their heads around it yet. There is a belief that the entire system is rigged against you, and that all of media is set up to make sure that you're busy fighting and arguing with your opponents, and I use the finger quotes there, while the real people that are running this thing take this country apart and use it for themselves. Donald Trump is the system disruptor that breaks all of it up on both sides. Why he's hated by the establishment Republicans as much as he is by the Democrats. And that's typically, like, the conservatives know what that's like, because establishment Republicans don't like dealing with conservatives, and Democrats certainly do not care one bit for conservatives. All right, so what happens when now you have a populace who has some conservative values to him, but he's all about how the way y'all been doing it, I don't want to do it that way. That's the reason why people vote. That's the reason why the conflict doesn't bother any of us. That's the reason why it makes sense to people who decide to go down this road and don't have a problem with, oh, look, Lindsey Graham's mad at him, John Cornyn's mad at him. All right, we're good.
It takes me back. What you just laid out reminds me of Dave Chappelle's opening monologue on Saturday Night Live, November 2022, when he said, I know the system is rigged because I use it. You know what I mean? Like, he was basically
about the tax code.
That's exactly right.
Oh,
man.
Hillary Clinton her complaint was during their debate in 2016 was, well, this guy doesn't pay any taxes. And he's like, that's right, and I know you won't change it.
Because you and all your friends take advantage of this rigged system. That's exactly right. That's why Chappelle was so ahead. He's always ahead of everything. But I remember that monologue, and when you said that, it took me right back to it. because he was like, I've never seen a guy call out the establishment the way he did, the way Donald Trump did.
What is Pete Hegseth? System disruptor. What are you getting right now when it comes to J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio? System disruptors. What is Robert F. Kennedy Jr.? System disruptor. What is Tulsi Gabbard? This is why. This is why this tent. This is why this group is working in the way that it is. It's why you're getting victories on a regular basis, and it's why when you get the late night television hosts taking something that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has done to your food or to medication, or I'm going to stop spending this money, and they're losing their minds, you're going, hell yeah, good. If I can make your Aunt Peg, or my wife's not as plugged into this sort of stuff, or one of my other very liberal friends, or Stephen Colbert curse their head off, then we're doing the right things. And if it's also getting establishment Republicans like a John Cornyn to scream his head off, we're doing the right thing.
You're exactly right. And I'm glad to see it. And that takes you to kind of the next step, right? Because
John Cornyn, by the way, senator out of Texas, just in case if you don't know, who's in real trouble with Ken Paxton's going to beat him.
That's right. Ken Paxton's the AG.
Yes, he's been the attorney general in Texas.
That takes you to the Democrats, because I just saw where the Democrats were saying, well, we always follow the rules. What Donald Trump is doing is wrong, talking about new census, and then Florida gets ahead of it. We get to the census a little bit, but Florida's getting ahead of it. They're going to start redrawing the lines right away. They are not waiting.
All right, so this ended up breaking yesterday, and this was your Florida House Speaker had just announced during their Congressional Redistricting Committee, and this is a full go. Now, DeSantis is only probably going to develop and deliver maybe one more seat, because Florida, thank you, Florida.
Yes,
you are
right.
blood red.
Yeah, that's right.
Florida is no longer a toss-up state. It's no longer, it's a battleground state. No, Florida is blood red. Florida has a blue area in Miami-Dade County that voted for Donald Trump. All right? So it's yes, they have some Democrat representation. It's a really red state. So it's going to be one. But this is really about the piling on. This is about other red states going, I see the fight. I see what's happening here. And they're all drawing strength from this administration who's putting stuff in your face. And the voters, just as you pointed out, Tug, they don't have a problem with the conflict. They're like, finally.
Yeah, that's it right there. Finally somebody that's fighting. Finally somebody that will do.
That didn't take status quo and say it's good enough.
And just comfortable with it. And then the other thing was, Los, they would go into office talking about how they were going to change things. They were going to
change Washington.
Absolutely.
We're going to turn Washington on its ear. You'll see.
And then as soon as they got there, they sat down politely, crossed their hands, and just listened. They didn't do anything except for what they were told. Donald Trump is the disruptor, as you used. And let me tell you, Ron DeSantis is in that same category. I love DeSantis because I know early on, I think we're both DeSantis guys. I've always appreciated Ron DeSantis.
I made the point on these airwaves 3 years ago, based off of what had happened, that I believed that Ron DeSantis was going to be the next nominee for the Republican Party. Now, what occurred? What changed? And the polling changed, because the polling actually had him as being the odds-on favorite. The persecution of Donald Trump using the lawfare changed it all. I didn't do this. I wasn't the one with the pom-pom screaming about Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that.
Neither was I.
The left went after him, and the country felt it was so unfair, so dirty, so nasty that it relaunched him. You can look at numbers from like April of 2021, 2022. DeSantis was the odds-on favorite. As soon as that lawfare started in 2022 and continued, that just gave a meteor shot to Donald Trump, where, remember, he didn't even take part in the primary. He's like, why am I going to even argue with these people? I'm winning.
Them all.
I'm beating them anyway.
And
he was right.
And he was right. But how many things is he right about? He's proven right over and over and over again.
So what do you mean I have to play you, or I have to fight you for the belt? I got the belt.
Yeah,
it's my belt.
It's my belt.
I won already.
I'm going to sit here at home and pick y'all apart on social media as you talk.
Yeah.
Dude, that's how advanced he is. But to the point, though, DeSantis is one of those guys that I like when DeSantis and Trump are in lockstep. And they are in this. They're not always, but they are in this, and I like when they are, because they make a difference.
And I'm curious. I don't have an answer here, but I am curious. The coordination between Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, and Donald Trump to how do we do this? To then watch all the rest of the state start to fall in line and go, oh, they did it like that?
We're going to do it too. But then it's funny to see the Democrats because they're screaming from the rooftops, well, we're going to do it too. And as we discussed yesterday,
there's nothing to do.
How else can you do it? You've already squeezed it to death.
You gerrymandered the hell out of these states. You know, we went through some of the numbers. When California is 40 to 45% Republican, that's their voting numbers that are Republican. First off, that's going to change because you're getting rid of a whole bunch of illegals and you won't be counting them in a census, but whatever. Hey, but when you only have 9% of the representation, that's disproportionate. You are going to have the scenario when we talked about the area of New England with 5 million Republican voters and no seats. In Texas is weird because Texas has this model of, well, we think we have more Democrats than Republicans here. That's never been the case. You've had the scenario in the late 80s where you had what essentially were Republicans that were Reagan Republicans and Blue Dog Democrats that all said, you know what, Ann Richards, we're going to vote for her for governor because she actually sounds kind of sane. And yeah, she's a Democrat, but you know what? It's doable in the same way that Clinton was running Arkansas. If any of them resembled traditional Democrats today, they have no chance.
Yeah, no. I want to go back to that. We talked about the percentage. We'll start with California. 38.33% voted for Trump in 2024. The Democrat House majority there in California is 82%. Colorado, 43% voted for. The House Democrat percentage, 50%. Connecticut, 41% voted. They have 100% Democrat House representation.
Yeah, it's the disproportionate number.
The list is unbelievable. And you brought up Massachusetts, 100% Democrats, right? But they're not the only ones. Just with 100%, Connecticut, Delaware, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, New Mexico, Rhode Island, Vermont, all have 100% representation, even though 40% voted for Trump.
This is the reason why the math doesn't math. It's one thing if you tell me that you have this much representation. For instance, city of Atlanta, typically a blue city. You have a ton of people that live here. So, okay, here's what the numbers are. What then happens around the rest of the state? The rest of the state is pretty red. So, yes, you do have representatives who represent the areas of Atlanta that are Democrat, and then the rest of the state is typically represented by red. The problem is in these highly gerrymandered Democrat states, what they end up doing is finding a way to ice out the surrounding areas. So while you have large amounts of California that are red,
especially Northern California, huge.
This is what they do. In the state of New York, you have almost a 50-50 split. New York City is entirely blue. So much of the rest of that community is red, yet they're disproportionately assigned. That's the game here. We're doing it one way based on population centers. That's where you're going to get your representatives. Democrats are having to draw lines and gerrymander in order to, let me get my population center, and then let me find a way to ice out these areas that would typically be red and would have a Republican representative.
Some of that's going to be changing. Something tells me, Lois.
No, it's coming.
There's going to be some major changes, and I'm all for it. It goes back to the fight, not being afraid of the conflict, the way that Frank Luntz pointed it out. When we come back on Extra, the change from Biden to Trump has benefited nearly everyone. And that's what the data show. Next on Extra.
The Morning Extra from 6 to 10. Glenn Beck until noon. Clay and Buck from noon to 3. And The Kimmer Show on your ride home from 3 to 6. Plus Jesse Kelly from 6 to 9. And Jimmy Vela from 9 to midnight. The voices you need all day with the conservative voice of Atlanta. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
You dial the number and you get to speak to a representative, press 0. You know, after you've gone around the whole thing, they've told you, press 1 for this, press 2 for that, press 3 for the other thing, press 0 for a representative. You don't have to press anything. When you call Central Heating and Air Conditioning, you merely dial the number and a representative will pick up the phone. And then if you need to get to a different department, they'll get you there. But you'll speak with a human being. I despise automation. Maybe you feel the same way. At Central Heating and Air Conditioning, you'll never deal with it. Is that the best thing they do? No. Incredible work on your home and your HVAC, keeping it maintained, keeping it repaired if there's any issue with it, or replacing with a new Carrier system. They are your Atlanta Carrier experts. Chuck and his team, they operate with efficiency, they operate with concern and kindness, and they operate knowing that you want to be treated a particular way. Just with kindness, with courtesy. And they do it all the way. If they do the detail work in the phones, when you call, can you imagine what they do in detail work when they're actually working on the equipment that they're maintaining for you or repairing or replacing? That's why I recommend you work with Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Chuck and his team at 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com.
Compact outside, the all-electric EQB 250 Plus SUV is big on space, style, and smart ideas. With available seating for 7, a digital voice assistant, and MB navigation with electric intelligence, the EQB is born from a forward-thinking family and built for yours. Get an exceptional offer on the all-electric 2025 EQB 250 Plus SUV. Just $299 per month for 36 months with $48.93 due at signing, exclusively from RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details and see how to qualify. Special lease rate available only to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Service through RBM of Atlanta, Sandy Springs through July 31st, 2025. Excludes tax, tag, title, and Georgia Lemon Law fees. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit us at rbmofatlanta.com or call us at 770-390-0700 for details.
I'm Michelle Stovall, and our company has been family owned and operated for 75 years. Check us out at StovallINC.com, or better yet, stop by our newly opened 11th store at 9500 Union Hill Road in Canton. At Stovall, we supply you with all your landscaping project needs, completely hassle-free down to delivery. Been dreaming of an outdoor kitchen, fireplace, or other custom paver project? We partner with Keystone Hardscapes for all your beautiful high-end concrete needs. We look forward to making your landscape dreams come true. Stovall has it all.
You protect your physical health by choosing your doctors carefully. Protect your financial health by choosing an attorney carefully. An accident can be very costly. You want to receive the compensation you deserve. Call Van Sant Law. My friend David Van Sant will take care of you, trust me, very well. The number is 855-GA-INJURY. The website is vansantlaw.com. In the event of an accident, it could be the most important phone call you make.
Field service engineer positions offered by Electa Inc. in Atlanta, Georgia. Perform low-risk troubleshooting and repairs on the designated modality with a 50% success rate of diagnosing the problem while working within the escalation procedure. Requires up to 50% domestic travel. Requires a valid driver's license. Employee reports to Atlanta, Georgia, but may telecommute from any location in the U.S. Please submit resume to faith.gordon@elekta.com. Reference job ID 8648918.
Securing America.
Thursday was Purple Heart Day, marking the anniversary of the day George Washington created the military honor in 1782. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth releasing a video in honor of the more than 1.8 million service members who have received the Purple Heart.
Each one of them sacrificing for us, for our country, and for our security.
Hegseth was joined on the video by Assistant Defense Secretary Sean Parnell, who received the Purple Heart while serving in Afghanistan. Parnell saying this about Purple Heart recipients.
We remember not just the medals pinned to their chests, but the scars etched into their stories.
Parnell adding that those service members represent the best of America and that we owe them the fulfillment of this goal.
To build a nation worthy of their sacrifice, where every citizen stands a little taller because they showed us how.
Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Friday, August 8th. The Cobb County 911 system received a major technology upgrade, launching Next Generation 911. The new system provides more accurate call routing and allows callers to send text, pictures, and video. Officials say it will cut down on response time across the board and improve reliability during major incidents and natural disasters. The Secret Service confiscated nearly 24 credit card skimmers in metro Atlanta. The devices were attached to card readers at checkout points in several grocery stores and gas stations. As part of a broader effort to crack down on fraud, officials say to be on the lookout when paying and always check before swiping or tapping your card. Georgia ranks second in the nation in consumer fraud. And if you're looking for a new four-legged friend, head to Forsyth County this weekend. The Forsyth County Pet and Adoption Resource Center is holding a Clear the Shelter event on Saturday from 10:30 to 5. The shelter will be waiving all adoption fees to make it easier for pets to find their forever home. Today's weather partly cloudy and temperatures reaching the low 80s. No rain in the forecast this weekend, but we'll keep those cooler temperatures. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
7 o'clock hours brought to you by Van Sant Law Group. If you're in an accident, make the right call. VanSantLaw.com. In just a moment, going to tell you about everybody excelling. Everybody is doing better. We already have, and the data show that every income level is doing better under Donald Trump, and we're just 200 days in. We'll get to that in just a moment. But I just asked Los a question because something happened to me last night that's happened before, but it hadn't reared its head in a while.
Uh-oh.
I was sitting on the front porch, and I don't know how I stumbled onto eBay, but I did. I've never really splurged on anything in my whole life except a Sonos sound system in my house because I'm a music guy, I'm a sound guy, and it's amazing. I love it.
They're outstanding.
I love it.
They're ridiculously nice.
So I asked Lois, I was like, have you ever been on eBay and you bought something that you probably wouldn't have bought otherwise, but you got competitive? Have you ever gotten competitive on eBay?
No.
Because that's happened to me last night.
No.
Yes.
Anytime I've ever bought anything on eBay, it's been a buy it now.
Yeah.
Just to, listen, I'll give you the $40, $45. I don't need to compete for this.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm going to do. If you made it a competition, I've gotten to the point now where when it comes to game tickets, like you want to go see a football game.
Sure.
Some people really love the hunt. They love to show up to the stadium. Let me go barter. Let me go figure it out as you hold your hand up. Me, I've gotten to the point now where if it's going to cost me an extra $100, but I have the certainty, I have a ticket,
Yep.
I'm like, fine.
I'm with tickets to shows. I don't because it's interacting with people that I don't know, and you don't know that the ticket's going to be legitimate. There's a lot of things there that I'm not sure about, so I don't do it there. But for whatever reason, eBay kicks my ass.
Makes you do it, huh?
Dude. So there was a Sonos 5, which is a $550 speaker. I was like, there's no way. So I don't even know how I ended up.
They had it listed for like $18, and he was like, let's get it going.
They had it listed for $200.
Okay, not bad.
Brand new. In the box.
All right.
In the box, brand new. $218 is what it was listed as.
Thing fell off a truck.
Yeah, or something. I don't know. Maybe so. But I'm sitting there, and what got me, the thing that hooked me, was there were 7 minutes left in the auction, and it was sitting at $218.
Yep.
A $550 speaker, $218 in the box, brand new, unused.
I think the page is always designed to be 7 minutes, no matter what time you get there.
Maybe so, but it was over in 7 minutes because I ended up with this purchase. It was there, and I was like, well, what if I'll just bump it up, because it gives you the suggestions of $5, $10, $15 increments. I was like, I'm going to do 16.
I'm going to show them.
Yeah,
show them how much I want it.
Well, but no, it was more about what if I just do $1 or $2 ahead of, because I assume.
Again, that's not showing that you're serious. If I'm in an auction and I'm saying, hey, I'll spend $500 on something, and Jeray comes in and says, I'll spend $505, that doesn't intimidate me like he says, I'm spending $750. I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah, right, exactly. That would push you out the door.
It's like, I'm out.
But the thing is, you don't want to pay $750. I don't know that I needed the speaker.
Well, but here's the problem.
I don't need the speaker.
You have an assigned value in your mind to something.
Yeah.
Oftentimes when you do have these auctions, like Heritage Auction Gallery is one of like the most fascinating places.
What is that?
That exists. It's on the top floor of this building in Turtle Creek. That's in this area of Dallas.
Okay.
If you ever look, Heritage Auction Gallery, they have the most amazing collection. Like, for instance, you might find a Babe Ruth hat.
Oh, wow.
Okay? You might find Muhammad Ali boxing gloves. Like, they have all of these artifacts of history. And so, in your mind, you might be saying, I think it's worth $10,000, but you might pay $15 for it because it's something you want.
Right.
Whereas a Sonos speaker, you know what that is to go buy it in a store.
It's $550, I know.
Right.
But when it was sitting at $218, I was like, because I didn't intend to buy it. It was just like, there's no way if I go $2 above whatever the suggestion is, that I'm going to get this thing. And so with it being, and my wife's talking to me. She's talking to me about moving, because we're moving our son the rest of the way into college tomorrow. She's talking to me. I have no idea what she's told me because I'm so dialed into how do I scoot this out just enough to see if I can land this. Not expecting to land it at all, but that competitiveness of like, how cheap can I get this and still like edge out somebody? Like what's going to work? And sure enough, I did $3 above the suggested I think $218 was the price. So $235 or whatever the number was. I said $238 just to see, and I was, the countdown was coming. From 30 seconds. Laura's talking to me. I have no idea what she says. It gets to 15 seconds. She's still talking. She's like, "Are you listening to me?" And I'm like, "Oh, yes, of course, honey."
Like he's imagining Dick Clark counting it down, like post-stroke and pre-stroke.
Yes, dude.
9.
It gets to 1. I wait half a second, hit place bid, and it starts going through the process. I was like, "There's no way I got this. There's no way." Sure enough, bam! I didn't even want the speaker. I got lured in from just trying to be competitive. Can I work the system? Can I defeat this and still not pay a boatload for this really expensive speaker?
I'm very proud of you. I hope it shows up with no damage and that it's all functional and that everything's good for your $218 on your $550 speaker.
I'm telling you, I was just like. And my wife still to this minute doesn't know that I bought it. She has no idea.
Show up. Now you're going to have to use Lady Logic on her. But babe, I got it for 45% off.
It was on sale.
It's on sale. I didn't pay for this extra amount, the extra 55%.
I feel like you've had this conversation before.
I just know I've just had this pushed at me in this way.
No, but that's what I mean. You've had that logic used on you.
My wife at times has done I got it 30% off. I'm like, you paid for the other 70%.
Losing money if you don't buy it.
That's right.
We had a meeting with our financial guy the other day.
Yeah.
And he started joking around about, now, this was the serious discussion they had. It was, all right, here are your current expenses. And he goes, I get it, it's morbid, but you have to have this conversation. It's like, if your spouse was to die, what do you think your expenses would be at? And so my wife cut it to, like 40% of normal expenses. Just like, this is what it would probably be if my husband, obviously because he drives, he uses fuel,
sure,
he gets fed, this is what it would be. And he comes around to me, he's like, what do you think your remaining expense? I go, 25%.
Because she's not going to be buying everything that she sees on Amazon for 50%.
And he kind of looks at me funny, and I go, there's a lot of Amazon boxes show up in my house, man.
That's right.
She was she looked at me like, I can't believe you just did that. And
she's ready to grab you around the neck,
I think my next point to him was, we had just moved from one house to the next, and we had just finished paying, like $8,000 in fees and moving and all this sort of stuff. And then we still had the house in Florida that was up for sale, and we're waiting for that to close. And then a box from Stitch Fix showed up at my house. You didn't stop Stitch Fix too?
No, dude, Stitch Fix. I've never been to a person's house who's married or in a committed relationship that they're cohabitating, that they don't subscribe, that the woman does not subscrib to Stitch Fix.
Jure, do you know Stitch Fix?
Woman I know.
Never heard of it.
So it is a service.
It's coming.
It is a service where you put in to a website your dimensions, your measurements, what you like. And Stitch Fix will send you a box from a designer of, here's the stuff we're suggesting that will look great on you. And you decide what to keep and then what to send back. And so they charge you based off of what you keep. So these boxes show up. And granted, for a long time, like my wife, when she was on the speaking circuit, her stuff was from Stitch Fix. So it made sense.
Yeah,
so we wrote it all off.
Big presentation. Yeah.
We wrote it all off. Now the boxes show up and there's no write-off involved.
And they get you, too, with the Stitch Fix thing. Here's the thing I hear my wife say. Well, you see, I'm not in love with this T-shirt or this shirt or this blouse or whatever it is. But if I send it back, it actually costs me more. So the discount is, better if I hold on to this. I don't love it. I like it, but it's cheaper for me to hold on to it than send it back.
Now, I haven't seen the Stitch Fix, but a lot of Anthropologie packages showing up on
What's that?
Yeah, it's another store.
She's just brand loyal. She loves that brand.
Anthropologie's great.
And then Free People is one of the other ones.
I never heard that
I'm
one
just saying, my financial person heard the story. He's like, so how much do you think your expenses would come down? I'm like, 75%.
I love it.
I was like, do you know what I
spend his money?
You know what I wear to work every day?
Yeah, exactly. It's not me.
It's not me. It's not me.
Dude, Stitch Fix is expensive because don't you pay like a monthly fee?
Yes.
And then
what you keep.
Whatever you keep.
Yes.
So, dude, they are just.
So she couldn't cancel it or pause it for like a couple months.
They're printing money, dude.
Who was the comic that just had the bit "Women be shopping"?
I don't know. Yeah. I've not heard it, but you need to look it up. While you do that, let's talk about every income group doing better. Maybe that's why Stitch Fix is going through the dadgum roof.
Going crazy. Because
Joe Biden, they were having to revise numbers all the time. Matter of fact, kind of a part of this conversation, it came out that the Bureau of Labor Statistics, where Trump just hired the head, fudged 1.5 million jobs in the last 2 years of Joe Biden's administration. You and I we talked about it on the show a bunch, how much they revise everything down. But this was also doing a number on your pocketbooks. It's amazing that the rich, and you'll hear this, the rich actually did better under the Biden administration. You won't hear this in the mainstream media.
What I find fascinating about this, Mr. President, is every income group did better. The red is President Trump, the blue is President Biden. Every single income group did better under President Trump. But what's really amazing is look what happened under Biden. The lowest income group lost income under Biden. They were poor 4 years after Biden's presidency. No gain virtually whatsoever for the middle class. And the rich was the only group that did better under Biden, which is ironic because Biden keeps saying he was trying to get rid of income inequality. He made income inequality worse, not better. It was President Trump that reduced income inequality.
These numbers just came out, by the way.
Yep. And then finally,
incredible.
These are the numbers I just showed you in percentage terms. Mr. President, these are the numbers in dollar terms. So even the lowest income, 25th percent, gained about $4,000 in income. That's a lot for a lower income family.
$4,000. The lower income are already up. We're 200 days in. You're already seeing a jump of $4,000 in personal wealth for the lowest income tax bracket, lowest income earners. And all because Donald Trump's doing things that will benefit America. Joe Biden and his administration showed you fake job numbers. Donald Trump showing you actual growth.
When during the Biden administration, the estimate was that every American family, it was costing us $7,000 more to operate. All right, so you're telling me that we've cut that more than in half already?
It's unbelievable.
In 200 days?
It's unfreaking believable.
It makes you wonder why this was being done to you.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
I mean, you think it was just circumstance? You think it was just an accident?
Happenstance.
That the Biden administration wanted you to have less money and less flexibility?
Because if you do have less money and less flexibility, where do you have to turn?
This is what I always tell people when it comes to Democrats who tell me about this stuff. I'm like, Donald Trump's an idiot, right? Yeah, he's a total idiot. He's a total fool. All right, he managed to cut your cost of living in half in 200 days. Why couldn't Joe do it? Because he chose not to.
That's exactly right. You know, another thing, as I was
Joe that dumb? Were they that dumb? I thought they were the smartest people in the room. Why didn't they do it?
They didn't want to. They wanted you dependent on them. They want you dependent. That's why they hate Trump so bad. He's making you independent of them.
They chose not to.
Just like they chose not to close the border. They didn't need a new law. Donald Trump proved that too. They didn't need a new law. You know, another thing that came out with this? You know how credit card debt was through the roof? How many times we talk about credit card being more delinquencies?
Record
delinquencies, record high debt on credit cards. The interest rates obviously up. Trump's working on that too. That's also coming down.
If things keep going well, you can get in on this auction over at Heritage Auction Gallery.
You can find a Sonos speaker.
This is a 1933 Babe Ruth.
Oh.
Rating is a 7 on PSA. Its current bid is at $80,000.
Dude, I just told you I splurged on a speaker that I didn't really need, and it got competitive on it for $218. That's my splurging. Well, I don't think $80,000 works.
The 51 Bowman Mickey Mantle rookie grade is an 8. That's currently at $140,000.
Dude, that's such a cool looking card. The cards back
thinking
then.
about it.
No, I'm not thinking about it. What are you talking about? That's like, every card that we own, all three are worth $140,000.
It's like buying one stock and just staring at it. Just one thing and being like, please don't drop in value.
Do you have any cards that are, obviously not like worth $140,000, but I'm saying, do you have anything that's worth $1,000?
Maybe.
Because I don't.
Maybe.
I've got one Mickey Mantle that was passed down to me, and it's not even an actual baseball card. It was part of a playing card set that may be worth, I don't know, a few $100.
$300 to $400 without a problem.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I got anything that goes to $1,000.
You getting those Griffs, those Ken Griffey Jr. rookies? Man, you remember those for the upper decks?
Yeah, the upper deck ones.
I wanted one so bad.
89
yes.
Griffey rookie card.
I wanted one so bad I would buy upper decks just to try to find one. Never did. Morning Extra and Extra 106.3 when we continue. The brutality in Cincinnati is not going away, no matter how much the left would like for it to. Next on Extra.
The Morning Extra on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3 FM.
Hey, it's Los. Let's talk about the Honest Car Guy. HonestCarGuy.com. That's Tom, but hey, you know him as Honest Car Guy. In fact, if you give him a call at 844-SHOW-ME-1, that's 844-SHOW-ME-1, you can actually just go, I'm looking for the Honest Car Guy. And they'll say, oh, hey, well, that's Tom. And if you want to call him Ani Honeston, you can. You can do that. I'm sure Tom will be like, all right, I'll play the game with you. Let's do it this way. Here's what Tom does for you as a service. You just name the make and model of the car you're looking for, make and model of what you're interested in, and Tom's going to be able to scour all of his services he has access to find that vehicle for you. Now, you're saying, well, what's the difference in me doing that and going to a dealership? The dealership tacks on crazy amounts of fees through every step of the process. That does not happen when Tom works to find that vehicle for you. He ends up seeing, okay, here's the money. Here's what it's going to cost us to get that vehicle. And I'll tell you, from experience on my own and also from talking to known people who've worked with him, including people who listen to this radio station, Tom's even told them, we don't need to pay that price for it. It'll come down. Let's get it at this price. And sure enough, Tom's able to get it at the price that he's looking for. At that point, you acquire that vehicle and you just pay the Honest Car Guy fee, the honesty fee. That's it. That's all. That's how this works. Tom has told me before, doesn't matter where that vehicle is in the country, in 3 days he can have it in your driveway or even shorter than that. And it doesn't matter if it's from 1960 to 2026, Tom's able to find that vehicle anywhere in the country. Go to honestcarguy.com. That's honestcarguy.com or go to 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Friday, August 8th. From the NFL, the Atlanta Falcons open up their preseason schedule tonight from Mercedes-Benz Stadium as the Detroit Lions will play their second preseason game after taking part in the Hall of Fame game last week. Kickoff is set for 7 o'clock. The Falcons plan to give extended time on the field to their rookies, including first-round picks Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr. The Atlanta Braves, their 3-game losing streak is over after a late-inning rally makes up for a 4-run deficit, beating the Miami Marlins 8-6. The final, Game 2 of 4 is set for tonight. Bryce Elder and Edward Cabrera will be on the mound. First pitch is set for 7:15. You can hear that game live on our sister station's brand new app, 680 The Fan. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Hey, this is John Flading from ATL Turfco. We're a family-owned and operated independent local company here in the Atlanta area. We've been in business for over 15 years. We install several different types of artificial grass. One is landscape, which looks like real grass for your lawn. The next one is pet turf. Pet turf is a little bit shorter than landscape and it's more durable. And the other one is putting greens. If you can dream it, we can build it. Just go go to atlturfco.com to schedule an appointment.
Modular and off-site construction is booming. If you're an architect, building engineer, supplier, developer, or contractor, you can't miss the Off-Site Construction Summit, returning to the International Convention Center in Atlanta on August 19th. With the rising cost of traditional building, modular and off-site construction is changing the way that companies build. It's quicker, cheaper, and offers a faster ROI. So don't miss the Off-Site Construction Summit, coming to the International Convention Center in Atlanta on August 19th. This is your opportunity to learn from and connect with the industry's best. Register today at offsiteconstructionnetwork.com. That's offsiteconstructionnetwork.com.
Hey there, I'm Tara, owner and publisher of Our Town Monthly, Cobb's premier lifestyle magazine for over 20 years. We bring the best of our community directly to your mailbox, like the one-stop open-air shopping destination, the Avenue West Cobb.
I'm Danny, marketing manager at the Avenue West Cobb. We provide the community a safe, walkable area with a unique mix of national retailers, local boutiques, and delicious dining options. And in addition to the incredible shopping, it's a community hub with events all year long. Mark your calendar for our most beloved events: trick-or-treating with our tenants, Santa's workshop, and our annual Christmas concert completed by our magical Christmas tree lighting. Follow us on social media at the Av West Cobb for family-friendly events all year long.
Thanks, Danny. My family and I love the Avenues. And friends, you will too. And remember, our town is your town at Our Town Monthly.
This is House Call for Health. We recently talked about hot summers and the importance of staying hydrated. But there's a wearable hydration monitor that could help prevent heat stroke. Researchers at the University of Texas, Austin, developing a non-invasive device that continuously measures hydration levels in real time and then transmits that info wirelessly to a smartphone. Study leader, Professor Nanshu Liu, says dehydration is a silent threat that affects millions of people every day. And the monitor empowers individuals to take proactive steps to stay healthy and perform at their best. Fox News Digital says the sensors use a method called bioimpedance, which sends a small, safe electrical current through the body via strategically placed electrodes. But like always, the best way to stay hydrated, be sure to drink plenty of fluids, especially during those summer scorchers. For more health news, go to foxnewshealth.com. House Call for Health, I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Hey, it's Flounder, and The Kimmer Show is live every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m.
More's coming out on Clinton, Hillary, Rodham, P. Stinky, Fart, Cabbagegate, and the CIA Director John Radcliffe is now teasing the plans to release more information, more files, linking Hillary to the Russian interference and the coup against Donald Trump and the coup against their own party.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Xtra 106.3 and the Xtra app.
One of the saddest things I think I've seen in quite some time is a woman trying to break up a fight in Cincinnati and then being beaten to a pulp. And the mayor of the city has nothing to say about it. The mainstream media has nothing to say about it. Now, there's three people.
The pastor in the community says it's their fault.
It's their fault. Yeah.
The mayor, people got overserved.
Yeah.
It's the bartender's fault.
3 people were sent to jail on charges related to this brawl. It's when you see the woman now, she's kind of the bruising is starting to heal. But I saw her in an interview where she talked about how the city has not done anything. They've basically just said, it's fine.
No one reached out to her.
Nobody has reached out. Not the mayor, not the city council, not the pastor. No one. She's left hanging.
This story is now more than a week old, and I've put it into our show notes about, here's what we should be covering. It's wild that you've had a media that has done their very best to bury it to where people would say, well, what are you talking about? What is going on? Now, for this audience who's plugged in, you know what happened.
Yeah.
You had a fight outside of a jazz festival where people were assaulted, and it was by a mob. Now, the easy thing to focus on is, look, these are black people beating up white people. And that is the easy part to focus in on. And that's the part that the media, that's the reason why you're not hearing anything about it. That's why the people in Cincinnati are trying to bury this thing and they're criticizing social media. But there's a bigger issue here for me. These are people that have been turned loose right back in society. And that as long as they commit crimes. Like, we had some of the numbers that have gone on in D.C. This is a story that's broken over the last 24 hours. When Donald Trump has talked about taking over as far as the federalizing the police in D.C.
First time it would have happened, if it does, since 1972.
You have the person who runs the police department there who is under investigation because they've been undercutting the numbers and they've been pressuring officers to not file felony charges on people that have committed felonies. This is happening in American cities across the country. And so the result has been you're putting people that have been prone to violence back on the street faster than they ever should be. That's a bigger issue. Yeah, I mean, you can focus on, hey, some black people beat up some white people. Yeah, factor. That's why you didn't hear about it. The bigger factor is these people aren't supposed to be on the street to start with. So I want you to listen to Holly. This is Holly. Now, she's so scared, you don't even get her last name, okay? Like, when she appears to do these things, you don't get her last name. It's a single mom. She's the one that when you saw her, it looked like she was dead. She got beaten on the street. She fell back. Her eyes are open, yet she's out. All right? This was when she met with the media yesterday to plead on what kind of changes need to be made.
First and foremost, I just want to say that I don't want to relive what happened to me, 8 or 9 days ago. I'm here to talk about the future and how we can change it, how we can prevent this from happening to anybody else. These heinous crimes have to stop. I never want this to happen to anyone else, especially a mother, a daughter, somebody who is loved. So I just know what it's done to my family, not just to me. And I think that moving forward, we do need more accountability. And I definitely think that, we need more police officers. But like he said, the judges who are just letting people out with a slap. The man who attacked me and might have permanently damaged me forever should never have been on the streets, ever. And the fact that he had just gotten out of jail previously for something he should have been in there for years, it's really sad to me.
If you think that the federal government has been cooking the books on job numbers during the Biden administration, look into the crime statistics.
Holy Lord.
Look what major cities were doing to not appear as violent and as dangerous as they had been. Now, what's the benefit to the communists? The communists want violence on the streets because now you look to the government to, can you fix this? Like, this is bad.
Help us.
Whereas you now have somebody who's pointing out, this person should have never been on the streets. I should have never encountered this person. They should have been in prison.
Okay, then magnify that by
every American city.
It's no different than what they do with the border. They let people come in unvetted that weren't supposed to be here and ended up killing and murdering and maiming. Part of that crime statistic. Those people shouldn't have been here either. It was working the same way. It's the same concept.
It's the same concept. These people were being turned loose right back on society. They were being apprehended, and it was, Biden administration stepped in, but now it's, hey, DAs in these major cities, they're stepping in. They don't want to have crime numbers that look as bad, and they certainly don't want to be seen apprehending and locking down people of color. And that's Hispanic, that's black, that's anything. It's like, hey, look, listen, bad luck for you if you're white and you commit a crime. All right? That's how it's going to be. But an overwhelming amount of our crime in this country, when it comes to violent crime, is done by minorities. That's a problem for these DAs in these places that are trying to get elected largely by minorities.
And then magnify that again by what's happening by the people that they let across unvetted not being reported.
So we end up jumping back to the 1990s when the Democrats were largely leading the fight against crime, the 3 strikes and you're out. And what was it Joe Biden told you? Didn't want to live in a jungle society. It's like all the stuff that was like, wow, that's clearly pretty crazy what y'all are getting into. But that's the direction we're going. It's almost like we're going to have minimums again to take the power away from these DAs and these police organizations that want to make it look like their communities are safer than they are. That's a much bigger issue to me than here's some a group of 4 or 5 black people that beat up white people on the street. Right,
and I'm with that. But I do think that needs to be addressed too. That is a problem, man. That's a major problem.
Let's throw it out here.
Yeah.
Who is ever going to address that?
No one. Doesn't mean it doesn't need to be addressed.
So you take it out of their hands.
Yeah.
By changing laws.
Yeah.
And taking power away from these people.
Because look at what happened to Big Balls. The kid.
Yeah, didn't cover it one bit.
That I bet most people don't know that kid was beat to a pulp.
That's Big Balls from Doge.
Yeah, right. whose name is Christian something. My computer just died in front of me.
Reportedly stopped a carjacking.
That's right.
And the teen mob beat on him.
And if you see him, much like the Cincinnati lady, just beat to a pulp. This kid is a patriot, a hero, someone that was trying to do right.
And that teen mob, if you have to put them away for a decade, for 20 years, tough.
They should be. They absolutely should be. And you know what? If Big Balls had done that in reverse, his ass should have been locked up.
Simple.
If you break the law like that, if you are violent like that, you deserve to be punished.
Again,
I don't care what color you are.
I'm going straight back to the fundamental aspect of this is that if you're turning loose people on the street for political reasons, then the streets are more dangerous for everybody.
Without a doubt. You cannot argue it. There's no way to argue that except for the way Los just laid it out. When we come back, we'll call it Craig Kimbrell or Mariano Rivera, the closer of the Trump administration. Talk about him next on Extra.
Time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Okay, the Queen and I have been married for 52 years, and we knew each other rather well for a couple of years before that. So in that time, I've learned how to really make her mad. And there's one word that does it. Well, actually, it's an acronym. Now, I got to tell you, Donna is a very elio-mercenary person. Look it up if you didn't go to a state school. The one word that will get on Donna's nerves like none other is FEMA. We're having an argument. I want to win it. I'll just look at her and say, FEMA, and she turns and stomps away. Donna worked Red Cross after Hurricane Katrina. Very long days taking care of refugees. She knows what a complete loser FEMA is and has been. But here's something that popped up in the news, a couple of months ago, maybe a year ago, that you may have forgotten. After some recent hurricanes in Florida, by recent I mean last year, a FEMA supervisor in Florida, her name was Marnie Washington, that's MARN''I. She instructed FEMA workers when they were going to neighborhoods to find somebody that might need help after the hurricane, instructed them to skip any houses that had a Trump campaign side in their yard. That's right. If they were Trump voters, FEMA would bypass them and not offer them aid and assistance in Florida. It was part of a Biden-ordered effort to build up Democrat votes before the election. Stroke and pet people who seem like they're going to vote Democrat and ignore the Republicans. Marnie with an apostrophe was eventually fired, and FEMA was exposed for what it is, a voter outreach project by the Democrats. An entire busload of FEMA workers is not worth one good Red Cross volunteer, like my wife. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. The 8 a.m. hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air.
Hamas is calling it a war crime. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Israel's new plan to escalate the war by taking over Gaza City. Fox's Tanya J. Powers has more of Hamas's reaction.
Calling Israel's decision a reckless mentality that disregards the lives of prisoners. The statement goes on to say, quote, "We hold the American administration fully responsible for the occupation's crimes due to its political cover and direct military support."
Here's the U.S. ambassador to Israel's reaction.
It's absurd that they would even suggest that they're the good guys.
Mike Huckabee tells Fox this morning,
these are the people that raped women in front of their families, that beheaded babies and put them in ovens, that mutilated the bodies of their victims even as the family members watched.
Referencing the 2023 Hamas terror attack that triggered the war, Israel's security cabinet approved the plan to take over Gaza City while also delivering more food for Palestinians. To dismantle Hamas and try to free the remaining hostages, 20 still believed to be alive, but some hostage families protest the plan in Israel, fearing they'll be killed. This is deadline day. President Trump set for Russia to agree to a ceasefire in Ukraine or face new economic sanctions, but could that be delayed as he plans to meet with leader Vladimir Putin?
We can report that the two sides are tentatively looking at the end of next week for a Trump-Putin summit. The location is still up in the air, and Rome is still in the mix, but also Hungary, Switzerland, and the UAE are being considered.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House. The U.S. keeps trying to take down Venezuela's leader, putting a $50 million reward for info leading to Nicolas Maduro's arrest. Here's Attorney General Pam Bondi.
Maduro uses foreign terrorist organizations like TDA, Sinaloa, and Cartel of the Suns to bring deadly drugs and violence into our country.
Democratic state lawmakers who fled Texas to block a redistricting are being told to come home today or face possible arrest. Attorney General Ken Paxton tells Fox.
If they are not there today, we are going to file a motion to remove some of these legislators from office.
America's listening to Fox News.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're a different kind of wireless company dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Because let's face it, our needs are different. Big wireless unlimited plans are designed for 20-somethings, not us. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on one thing, bringing you affordable, reliable rate plans that suit your needs, not ours. How do we do that? We start by using the same towers as the big guys, the exact same towers. We then create rate plans designed for your usage. The fact is, we can offer you an unlimited plan with the same network quality for less because we understand how you use wireless services. Our plans start at just $20 a month. And forget trying to chat with robots. You'll get 100% US-based award-winning customer service when you need help. Come find out how wireless should be and join the millions who've made the switch.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Extra 1063 wants to know, is this what you voted for? Call 404-741-1230 and let us know on the Morning Extra.
Tug and Los until 10 on a Friday. You can just tell we're punchy because it's it's been a long week. There's been so much going on. A week of great shows. Thank you for your reaction to them. Thanks for the phone calls and the interaction on social media. At Extra 1063, at Front Office Los, at Whiskey Click, and you can find me at Tug Cowart. But we were just talking about crazy movies and scenes of things that still make you laugh as hard now as it did the first time you ever saw it. And for me, the movie is The Hangover. That's the one that no matter when it's on, I always watch it. It's become that movie for me, and I still to this day laugh just as hard every time I see it. It never gets old. I don't know how it ever gets old. It gets old for my wife. She doesn't think it's as funny as I do.
It's why the whole throwing of toys at the WNBA floor, this is why I'm 12 years old. Because the scene in Superbad where his parents determine what he's been involved in by raiding his lunchbox and all the drawings.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever laughed in a movie theater at something so incredibly dumb and colorful and hilarious of just the craziest type of humor.
Well,
it was shocking too.
Lowest common denominator, right?
But it's shocking. Like you're not supposed to remember. It's a scene where they look back and he's in elementary school.
Yeah.
And in elementary school, this is what this character was drawing.
Yes, all these,
and it was so elaborately. I mean, that's the funny part. It's not it's a high school, coming of age, gonna graduate. And looking back at elementary school and why you don't like somebody because they found all of your stuff, your drawings. If you don't know, it's probably because you haven't watched the actual version of Superbad. You've seen like the TBS version.
Which is what I saw until Lo showed me the actual scene.
The drawing scene.
The drawing scene. And dude, I sat and giggled like a 12-year-old who just saw a device thrown onto a WNBA floor. That's how I laughed, and you will too.
But I'm the same way with Hangover. Like I still find the funniest parts to me now, outside of Ken Jeong jumping out of a car naked with a tire iron, it's still the way that Zach Galifianakis talks to everyone.
Yes, sir.
It's still the funny part.
You're in my wolf pack of one.
Just like even in the third one, when they
I never got that far.
Okay, there's a scene in the third one where they're talking about using his cell phone and needing to do stuff, and he's like, "You just don't get it." I have so many apps on that. You're like, what?
What's that got to do with anything?
You just don't get it, Stu.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry I got to talk to you this way. And you're like, that's hilarious.
It is.
So much of that in that movie. Again, like when they're the drive over to Las Vegas, and he starts talking about what Bin Laden did and ruining stuff. Okay, that's random and funny. His dialogue in that is so incredibly fun.
But I don't know why. I mean, I guess it's just the way we're formed and the way that we see things, and women see it very different. Women don't laugh at the same thing.
No, there's boy humor. Boy humor's different.
And girls love rom-coms, right? There's you'll see a scene that your wife might tear up at, and you're like, whatever.
You know what my wife watched, and she's now seen both of them, and she enjoyed them both. My daughter got into watching 21 Jump Street. Now,
the new one?
This is the new one.
Okay, yeah.
They watched that one together, then they watched the second one together.
Right.
And she was laughing most of the time because of all of the jokes about them kind of being a couple and all the little innuendos.
Yeah.
And she loved it. But that is basically geared as like buddy comedy sort of stuff. Like we've been actually joking around now that she watched it. I'll be like, hey, I'm planning on doing this and going to pick this up over at Home Depot. And she's like, well, why don't you get this version or get this? And I was like, well, I thought I had Cate Blanchett to get whatever I want. And she's like, carte blanche? And that's the joke.
That's so
and he's
great.
so dumb. He's like, I thought we had Cate Blanchett to do whatever we want. And they're like, you mean carte blanche?
That's so great.
So I've been saying that in the house all week, and it makes her giggle. Now, she'll get over it. She will not use that humor won't stick with her the way it would stick with me if I wanted it to.
No, but the beauty is that relationship, that bond that it's building with you and your daughter, and how you laugh at the same jokes. And that's the sweetest thing you'll hear on this show this morning. The sweetest thing, because it's so innocent and it's so pure and it's so wonderful. That's what makes being a father incredible.
We had a sleepover last Saturday night. It was the freshman four. It was her and three of her teammates. They all won regionals together last year. They've played club volleyball together for 2 or 3 years. They're all freshmen together at the same school. And I started suggesting movies for them to watch. And I really tried to get them to watch Aliens. James Cameron Aliens.
Is that like 85?
They won't do it. Yeah, like 1985.
Yeah.
They won't do it. But one of these days, me and my daughter are going to sit down and watch Aliens. And just like I did, she won't sleep for a week. And we'll have that moment too.
I don't know. Is it going to hold up? Have you seen it? Does it hold up?
It's a great movie.
Well, you're right.
100% great movie.
But I haven't seen it since I was a kid, so does it hold up?
It's sci-fi. It's still, in my opinion, the scenes are so creepy, and the designs of the set is so cold and scary and nutty.
Confined spaces.
Yes, very much so. Like you feel the entire time like you're being trapped in that entire movie.
Yeah. I haven't seen it in so long, I don't remember it, to be honest.
All right, do you want to use my Hulu password too?
Yes.
Okay,
send it over.
I'm going to send that over to you. Your assignment at some point, which I know you'll get caught up doing. I know you're going out of town though. I was like, you got to help your son move more into his space.
But you know what?
But if you were to say, hey, we need a moment here. I've got this password. Why don't we watch Aliens?
Turn up the bass on that new speaker.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
That's right.
It doesn't
that
come in
Sonos would be bumping.
It didn't come in for another week. I've still got to figure out how to explain.
And he'll recognize all the actors.
Yeah.
Like all the actors are very famous actors in that movie.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
Then you have to decide who's your favorite between like Hicks and Hudson.
Yeah.
Or Ripley.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know that I'll be able to talk my kid into it. Like your kid is much more, or your children are much more apt to say, okay, I'll
not when it's Aliens.
Except for that one. Okay, except for that one. Mine is so dismissive of any. Maybe it's just the age. I'm like, hey, let's watch, or you should watch. And it didn't used to be that way, Los. If I said, let's watch Good Will Hunting, he would be like, okay, and he did and loved it. I mean, there's so many movies.
It didn't. I tried maybe a little too early. I think my daughter was maybe 12 or 13.
Yeah, you got to come back
and
around.
And she was like, Whereas then she had another sleepover. And it was some of her friends, and they go, well, will you put on a scary movie? And I was like, yeah, I'll put on 7.
Dude.
They made it like 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Look at Jared.
Dude, I'm
Jared's
telling
like,
you.
what?
That is.
They made it like 6 minutes before they turned it off. And my wife is like, did you seriously put on 7? I was like, they wanted something scary. She's like, do you have no soul? What is wrong with you?
That's next level. That's still one of my favorite movies of all time because
great thriller
of how just creepy. Don't talk about creepy. You talk about good Lord, that movie's creepy.
And it's
I love it.
It's different. It's not gory.
No, it doesn't have to be.
It's psychological.
It's so suspense. Yeah, so
that's the beautiful thing of it. So much of these teen slasher movies.
Yeah.
Remember, coming up. Yeah. First off, when you really had like the first teen slasher movie was really maybe like Nightmare on Elm Street. Like you had all those that had a run where it was okay. How do we have movies where we kill a bunch of teenagers and a bunch of teenagers will go watch it? Okay, great idea.
Yeah, sure.
7 was not that.
It wasn't.
7 was, this is going to mess you up. You're not going to be able to sleep for a week. And every single time you think about 7, this is what's going to happen to you. 30 years later,
What's in
that
the box?
movie. What's in the box?
You can't miss it. And this is going to sound so corny, but they had me in the opening credits when sitting in the theater, opening credits, the opening music. It's this crazy remix of 9 Inch Nails.
Yes.
And as soon as I was 2 notes in, and I leaned to my high school girlfriend, and I was like, oh, that's 9 Inch Nails right there.
Yeah.
I know. That's closer. I know what this is. And so they had me hooked from the get-go because it was so mysterious the way that they mixed that song. I was in.
So David Fincher is the director. I think that it's by far like his greatest masterpiece, greatest creation that he's done. And he's got some great movies. I mean, this is a guy like gave you like Fight Club. Like he's got great movies.
Which is another great movie.
But when it comes to that movie, if you notice, it's rainy and nasty every day.
So dark.
Until the last day.
And then
it's bright sunshine, everything's pretty out, and you're like, oh, okay, we're coming to the end of this entire orchestrated movement. And now it's pretty. Now it's supposed to be, we got the guy. And then you don't.
And the FedEx truck comes down the hill. Oh, dude, it is the most chilling. And when he's talking to Brad Pitt's character about spending time with his wife, and he knows about the baby. Ugh. Oh my God, dude, that is.
It just ramps up,
dude,
man.
It sticks with that. That is a movie that sticks with you, and you can never forget it. And every time you watch it, it's another. Every time you watch it, you get cold chills in the same spot again. When he walks into the police department, because Los loves. If you don't know this about Los, he watches all the serial killer documentaries. He's so into it, and he's shared so many things on but it makes so much sense that this guy, being, Kevin Spacey, when he walks in, he was like, "I think you're looking for me."
He goes, "Detective."
Yeah,
and of course, the creepy part about all of it, and where they did such a good job of never telling you Kevin Spacey's in this movie, was that you are thinking it's gonna be a guy with horns and a tail, and he's a demon, and it's Kevin Spacey.
Kaiser Sose.
It's not. It's like the nicest, friendliest, like most harmless guy in movies at the time. Kevin Spacey, and he is the one capable of all of this.
He's the devil.
That's the part that's like more of the psychological freak out. This isn't some dude filled with tats and all messed up looking or strung out. This isn't Richard Ramirez, okay? This is a dude who looks like he would be teaching you math in like 5th grade.
Yeah, that's exactly right, man. Just the genius behind the characters. I mean, just think.
What a wonderful movie. See, I tried to do this with my daughter. We're going to have to revisit.
Yeah,
maybe 16.
Yeah.
16 might be the age.
Yeah. Another movie, man, Dead Poet Society. God, there's so many that you can watch with her that are going to be so good that she will, when she gets a little bit of, I don't know.
I mean, right now, most of her stuff it's got to have some sort of comedic flair to it. Like, she loves Tommy Boy.
Well, how can you not?
Like Happy Gilmore 2, she made it a point. She wanted to watch she watches much more of like 90s lighthearted comedies.
Well, in a heavy world, probably makes sense because it seems like everything's so heavy now.
Whereas me, I'm like,
yeah, give me Serial Killer.
What do you got over here?
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch the Son of Sam tapes.
I like it. I like a little bit of everything when I do have the time to watch. I just I don't know. I go. I'm a mood. Whatever my mood is for the day is kind of the music I listen to or the movie I would watch. That's the way it flows with me.
You want to know a crazy story before we get to the Stephen Miller thing?
Sure.
Because we're just like
Yeah, all over
bouncing
the road.
all
It's
around
Friday.
all morning. We're like,
It's
we're just having
Friday.
fun with this entire thing.
404-741-1230 if you'd like to get involved in this.
If you would like to take anything in any direction, you are more than welcome today.
Always welcome.
So there was a woman named Caroline Fraser that was on with Joe Rogan and doing a podcast. She was promoting this book that she had written.
Mm-hmm.
And she had done this book that had to do with a correlation. It was called Murderland, Crime and Bloodlust in the Time of Serial Killers. She draws these really interesting parallels to areas of the country where you were using smelters and it was putting a bunch of lead out into the community. And those that were working with lead-based paint and lead-based gasoline, and how some of when we had this spike in serial killers where there was like the numbers now is you think there's about an active like 100 in the country. At the time, there was like an active 700 in the country.
Good Lord.
And she was basically able to say, I don't know if this is the answer, but it's strange that these areas where they are exposed to this much lead cause some of these people to lash out with violent behavior. How's that for a crazy story?
It's freaking unreal.
In fact, if you...
And how do you even stumble upon that idea, that thought process?
And one of the issues she jumps into, like Gary Ridgway was the Green River Killer. And Gary Ridgway, I think they got him for like 49 murders. Really, it's probably closer to 80. They ended up just basically being like, okay, it's his MO. It's probably him. He didn't admit to it, but this looks like it's him. His professional job when he wasn't driving around murdering prostitutes was he worked in a factory where they spray painted trucks with lead-based paint. So he grew up in an area where he was exposed to a large amount of lead. And the reason why this got this woman talking about it is that when you buy land in this area of the Pacific Northwest, it comes with a warning that you need to do a professional cleanup because there was an old facility in the area that basically dropped lead all over the area. And so a guy like Ted Bundy grew up basically covered in this stuff. And so couple that with abuse, couple that with hard upbringing, maybe that led him to then being that sort of a more insane, more rational, more violent person, or less rational, more violent person.
I mean, the abuse alone, that creates just these horrible mental illness and struggles that people have.
So that's why I love these books.
And then you throw in the lead-based paint, which I would have never connected.
Yeah, it's an interesting theory.
Yeah,
and again, it's theory, but it's interesting to read about it, look into.
And I just pulled up her name just because you brought it up. I've heard of God's Perfect Child, the book that she wrote, and I just didn't realize that it was the same woman.
She explores a lot of different areas where you go, okay, well, that's interesting. Like, I want to look into that.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Creepy.
All right, so Stephen Miller.
Yes, the closer. He's the Mariano Rivera, number 42. Inner Sandman's playing when he walks out.
We told you on Monday, when he was on the Sunday shows and he started explaining what they're going to do when it comes to the direction of the administration, told you, he's the closer. He's the guy. When he starts talking about indictments, when he starts talking about people that are going to pay for Russian collusion, quite honestly, when you have the CIA that is weaponized to go after an American president, I don't know how there isn't a crime there. So it's basically what it is. That's all. Like, how is that not a crime to weaponize a government organization to go after a sitting president? There's got to be a crime there somewhere. So this is Stephen Miller, who, again, when he comes out and he starts talking about it, it's right around the corner. Listen to what he brought up yesterday.
Illinois, Chicago, New York, Massachusetts. Democrats have gerrymandered the vote beyond recognition to try to maintain their advantage in the House elections. On top of that, let's not forget, Democrats rigged the 2020 census by including illegal aliens. Remember, they sued Donald Trump. They sued the administration. They fought tooth and nail to include illegal aliens in the census. 20 to 30 of House Democrat seats wouldn't exist but for illegal aliens. Texas is taking just a small corrective step against this ocean of fraud, this ocean of abuse by the corrupt Democrat Party.
Oh, they're going after all of it. Once Stephen Miller comes out and talks about redistricting and census and making sure that illegals can't vote and they're not counted, the administration's going after all of it. He's the closer. He is the Craig Kimbrell. It's time to close this thing out. That's going to happen.
Dude, when you think about what they've exposed in 200 days, and we talked about some of the things that were gone in 200 days yesterday, and you had a great list of things. It's like, oh my gosh, that's done and over with. At some point, we're going to be able to add this in there. But to see the depths of things that we kind of knew, but we didn't know how. None of it ever added up. We knew the deep state was the real deal, but we didn't know what they were doing, or at least I didn't. I knew the deep state was working against me. I knew it was working against the country. I knew it was working against Donald Trump. But to see everything unraveling so quickly, from USAID all the way down to something that sounds as innocent as the census, they were using it for political power.
Let's talk about this. 150 days in, everything was geared up towards we're taking out the dirty money that is part of the deep state. USAID is gone. We bring in Doge. We bring in the world's richest man. This is how we're going to strip away at this. And the Democrats went, what are they doing? By the time they push and get through with the big, beautiful bill, the Democrats like, oh, we better launch something against him. Like, let's start Epstein stuff. Because we know what's happening here. And they turn their guns on. We're not only going after the criminal conspirators, we're also going to go after the tactics by which you get elected. And it's only been 200 days. They have 3.5 years. This is going down. The Democrats are going to lose a crazy amount of seats in this. And when you bring in Stephen Miller, it's just a matter of time. There is no legal defense for what the Democrats, they have no leg to stand on. What are you going to sue to try and keep from other states gerrymandering? I'm like, it doesn't work.
Because all you already did it. Point to Illinois, the one that's gerrymandered the worst, according to Princeton University.
Are you going to sue to keep from a new census? We'll get into that in a minute. Are you going to sue because you want to make sure illegals are still able to vote in your country? Not going to work.
Yeah, who's gonna be okay with that?
We do have voting laws.
Yes, right. Let's talk about that. Get ready to be counted, but fairly this time around. Next on Extra 106.3, 8 o'clock hours brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Chuck and his team waiting on your call. No automation at all. 404-741-1230 if you'd like to get us here on the Morning Extra. This is Extra 106.3.
Get connected to Extra 106.3 on all your favorite apps. Then download ours and stream the station across Georgia. We're live online at extra1063.com. Stream live video from the studios on YouTube. And of course, Kimmer, Bortz, and your favorite Extra shows in crystal clear digital on the Extra 106.3 app.
You need a pre-owned car or truck, but you don't need the headache of searching for one. Spending hours calling dealerships, then spending half the day filling out paperwork.
Come on.
You need the Honest Car Guy.
Hey, this is Tom from the Honest Car Guy. We help you buy your next pre-owned car or truck honestly. We guarantee each vehicle we sell will come with a copy of the bill of sale, showing what we paid for it. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee. Guaranteed.
Get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
Hey, it's a Kimmer talking about Stovall.
Yeah, I just wanted to brag on Stovall. I went up there and actually got a quote on some of their material up there, and he gave me the quotes I wanted, but he said what would work best, they don't carry, and referred me to one of their competitors. That's how good they are. And sure enough, he was right. The material he was talking about that they don't carry, it's actually going to work best for me. So I've got that on the way. It all worked out well. Makes me want to go back and buy something from them now.
Folks, when it comes to landscaping supplies, start at Stovall. 11 locations around Atlanta. Online at StovallInc.com.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 3 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffers from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. We provide testosterone replacement therapy, the P-shot, and treatment for ED, PE, and Peyronie's disease. There's not just one therapy that can solve these complex issues. When you visit our clinic, you're going to see me. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. 404-777-1911. Total Body Therapy of Georgia. 404-777-1911. Online at tbtofga.com.
This is Bruce Hagan. The law in Georgia has changed, and it's going to be harder than ever to get fair treatment on your personal injury claim. If you have been injured through no fault of your own, call me. You need a real lawyer, and that's who we are. We're not some TV and billboard lawyers who don't even know how to get to the courthouse. I've been a Georgia super lawyer for 20 consecutive years, and that's because I try cases and I win cases. We get results for our clients, and we can get results for you. Hagen-Law.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Friday, August 8th. The Cobb County 911 system received a major technology upgrade, launching Next Generation 911. The new system provides more accurate call routing and allows callers to send text, pictures, and video. Officials say it will cut down on response time across the board and improve reliability during major incidents and natural disasters. The Secret Service confiscated nearly 24 credit card skimmers in metro Atlanta. The devices were attached to card readers at checkout points in several grocery stores and gas stations. It's part of a broader effort to crack down on fraud. Officials say to be on the lookout when paying and always check before swiping or tapping your card. Georgia ranks second in the nation in consumer fraud. And if you're looking for a new four-legged friend, head to Forsyth County this weekend. The Forsyth County Pet and Adoption Resource Center is holding a Clear the Shelter event on Saturday from 10:30 to 5. The shelter will be waiving all adoption fees to make it easier for pets to find their forever home. Today's weather partly cloudy and temperatures reaching the low 80s. No rain in the forecast this weekend, but we'll keep those cooler temperatures. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
Kind of piggybacking on that story of Forsyth County and the adoption thing, which I think is terrific. I've got to where I can't look at Facebook, y'all, for that exact reason. Because the nonprofits that help animals get adopted or health care or whatever it is, taken care of. Like when they put up, hey, dog A has until Friday or it's lights out. He's been here forever. And, dude, it kills me. I become the biggest softie in the world. I don't know what it is about animals that are just...
Go get that dog.
Well, I don't have a place. I would love to see. That's the thing.
Go get that dog.
I would love to. Like Billy Madison, you go find a dog.
You go get that dog.
I've turned into... see, that's all right. But my mama, I remember mama always wanting to adopt every dog, and I didn't understand it.
This is what her favorite song was before she passed.
Right. Well,
and she wanted you with her dying wish. She told you, Tug, you take care of them dogs.
Yes. Well, thankfully she's still around.
Oh, dang it. I was trying to tell that sob story, so maybe somebody else would be like in the interest of Mama Meemaw.
I don't think I can talk about Mama in the past tense. I'm not ready.
She's going to get another dog. You got to go get a dog for her.
That's right.
Listen, Mama Meemaw and Meemaw want you to go and save this dog that doesn't have much time.
Go get him today.
And do it for those dogs out there that need your help.
That little dog has bugs in his eyes.
There's no one else who can help that dog
but you. So donate lots of money today and adopt.
That
Don't
dog's
shop.
only going to cost you like $4 a day.
That's right. You can feed countless animals.
You can feed countless animals by skipping Starbucks once a week.
How could you be such a heartless bastard?
Granted, this one is not potty trained.
Yeah, that's right.
It's going to mess up a lot of your scene.
Yeah,
but
and tear your couch up.
You're going to love that dog.
Yeah, that's right.
I had a dog that ate an ottoman.
Did you?
It was the greatest dog ever, yet he still ate an ottoman on me.
It happens occasionally. Yesterday, I came home and old Cash, our dog, a little mini chocolate schnauzer, he had something that had upset his tummy. And let me tell you, when I got home, it looked like a war zone.
Oh, no.
Dude.
Yeah. A lot of cleanup? Yeah.
Dude, I mean, it was everywhere.
It's my job to clean those up in our house.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
because I don't have a great sense of smell and that stuff. It's gross, but it doesn't bother me as much.
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, it doesn't kill, but it didn't kill me to do it. But
my wife will follow suit, and so will both of my daughters. They're like, oh God.
And let me tell you, whatever irritated his stomach, I mean, he looked like he was trying to paint the floor. I mean, it was awful.
Well, I'm glad you got it taken care of.
Yeah, well, yeah. I didn't enjoy it.
So maybe, and this is just a theory. I'm not saying this is the answer. I don't think I have the answer on these sort of things. You know, we talk about maybe some video games or some alien documentaries or serial killers.
You got the answer.
I feel better.
I feel good about your standing.
Maybe Cash just needs a friend. Maybe that's the issue that's going on here.
Yeah.
Maybe Cash is in a situation where Cash just needs a little buddy to hang out with as Cash gets older.
Daddy, will you get me a buddy? I'm tired of being here during the workday by myself.
I'm getting social anxiety as a dog because there's nobody to hang out with, and now I'm messing up your floor.
Oh my God, you sound just like my wife. That's exactly what she says all the time. He needs a friend.
Just needs a friend to hang out with.
I was like, no, he doesn't. He doesn't need a friend. He's got two friends. As soon as we're home, we're his friends.
They'll be all together. They can all hang out all day long, keep each other company.
That's penetrating my mind. Somewhere.
You're like, somewhere it's getting to me.
Because when I see this on Facebook and they're talking about, Billy Bob, the sweet dog that's got 2 days left. He's home Friday. It's lights out for him if somebody don't come adopt him.
Is it wrong that I then immediately turn off those notifications? I'm like, don't want to know because I know I'll be like, my wife be like, how did we end up with 4 dogs? I'm like, Facebook,
exactly.
man.
That's what I'm saying, dude. And that's what it's turned into. That's what it is for me.
I think once
you click on it, dude, the algorithm picks up. You had to click on it one time.
I think this happened to my father-in-law. Great dude. He's the dude. He's the grand dude. They always had one dog in the house. It was always a golden. Great dogs they had.
Dude, goldens are the best.
As soon as all the kids left the house, they just added dogs.
See, I think that's
at one point, I think he had 4 or 5 dogs in the house.
If you got room, though, that's the other thing. You got to have room.
And part of that was they had 3 that were their own, and their youngest son at the time was fulfilling a contract in D.C. for 9 months. So they took in his 2 dogs. They had 5 dogs running that house all the time. It was wild.
Just trying to come in was chaos.
Yeah.
Just dogs all over
the place.
Which is fine. I mean, I love dogs, so but
he had to vacuum every day.
Yeah, I'm sure with Goldens, they lose hair like nothing. And see, that's the other thing. We can't adopt except for, particular types of dogs. So my son's allergic to animal dander to begin with. He has a hard time going to visit his grandmother's house because she has a cat. Dude, he swells up, sneezing the entire time. When he goes to her house, he has to stay outside. Yeah, literally stay outside.
Don't you think, Jeray? He needs to go get that dog.
No,
that's right.
I don't need another dog, and it's going to make my son sick. I can't.
And
will you turn off Sarah McLachlan? I feel bad enough.
I mean, a lot of it comes down to, I know what'll happen for us. Once our dog's older, we'll get a dog play friend, and and then we'll have a transition. Because the one time in the last 5-6 years when we didn't have a dog for 6 months, the house felt weird. We're a dog family.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
You can do a foster situation. You can do a little rented dog. Feel good about getting him his forever home.
Again, it's got to be a hypoallergenic dog, and how many of those are
your son's not
before he's coming back?
Yeah, you're just bringing the dog in for a few months.
That stuff doesn't go away
until you can find that dog a forever home.
You find
that dog a forever home.
Send an email.
Stop. No. I've already because
Mrs. Tug.
Remember, I've already told y'all we tried to adopt a couple Schnauzer dogs because that's what we have, and Jacob does okay with it. It still bothers him just a little bit. And the Schnauzer's supposed to be hypoallergenic. I'm not sure that it is completely. But
did you tell the people that y'all were gay? Because that always helps out.
I lacked. That's why we got turned down 4 times.
That's
I didn't check the right box.
I was going to say that. I've heard it works around the country for no matter what.
Yeah, right.
Me and my husband.
You need to be looking at adult content at the bar.
That's right. Oh, you do whatever you want, whenever you want. You're good.
That's right. We tried to
just hand you kids, dogs, anything.
We tried 4 times. We've tried to adopt a Schnauzer puppy from 4 different agencies around Metro Atlanta and turned down every stinking time.
Carol, look at this application. What does it say, Aubrey? It says they're straight.
They go to church on Sunday. Not a chance.
No chance. No Schnauzer for them.
We were talking about dogs for home security yesterday.
Yeah.
David in Kennesaw called. One of our 4-Hour Club listeners. Love David.
Love it, David.
He's got 4 cane corsos.
Oh.
I don't know that. What is that?
Take a look at that dog.
It's like a pit bull, but a lot more.
Yeah.
They're huge. He said his biggest one is 160 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nobody who's going near David's house.
No.
Good Lord, that dog's head is gigantic. I don't even think I've ever seen that dog before. I've never heard that name.
Oh, I'll tell you though, for your family, sweetest dog ever.
Yep.
Anybody else?
Anybody who messes with your family,
tear their leg
they got a problem.
off. Yes. Good Lord. A beautiful dog, but you can tell they are they're used for protection. There's no disguising what they're for.
If you cannot find yourself in a situation where you put like concrete lions in front of your house, instead you get these.
That's right. Yeah. My mama's got so many cats. And they stay outside. It's just she
Working
feeds.
cats.
What is it?
Working cats.
Yeah, she feeds all the cats. So she just lines up the backyard so all the feral cats she wants to make sure they're fed. She's only got one cat that's in the house, one. And she's had that cat for 15 years. But I told her, I was like, there's too many cats, Mama. There's too many. You can't take care of them all.
You need to go to the shelter.
Right, but she tries. But like you can't even, there's so many now you can't even count all of them. Like I have no idea how many are back there or how many visit daily. It's kind of like America. I don't know how many people are here.
I feel like cats take care of themselves. Like outdoor cats. I saw one yesterday. We were walking around the neighborhood. He was just chilling out, laying under a car.
Happy.
Just as happy as he could be.
We met a family over at our neighborhood pool, and they had another family that was visiting. That other family lives probably about 7 or 8 miles from us. They were telling us they live on like 8 or 9 acres. Like, oh man, it's really great. I'm like, yeah, but haven't seen the cat in 2 weeks.
Probably got eaten.
Yeah,
by a hawk or something,
coyote or something,
some fox,
yeah,
anything.
They're like, haven't seen the cat in 2 weeks. It's like, haven't really told the kids. Like, we're just trying to figure it out.
And that way, if the kids ask, oh, he's on vacation.
He left.
He'll be back soon.
He left.
He'll be back.
Mama, what's vacation?
Yeah.
Go somewhere, never come back.
I feel like I've heard that before. Donald Trump is working. I told you, I don't know, it's probably been 2 or 3 weeks ago that this was quietly happening behind the scenes. Now it is public knowledge, and Donald Trump is standing behind the fact that we need a new census to actually count the American citizens, not the people who are just here.
I love this because this is a 3-pronged attack. This is about illegals who can't vote. This is about redistricting, and this is about a new census. Now, a guy like Adam Schiff, Senator Adam Schiff out of California, who's going down because he's going to have mortgage fraud charges against him out of Maryland. One of the things that he brought up on Twitter and X last night was, well, this is unconstitutional. All right, slow down, Lee Harvey. I did the work on it. As it turns out, and most everybody knows, the Constitution does require a census. And it requires it every 10 years in order to assign the proper representation to the amount of districts that you have. That is in the Constitution. As by law, it has to happen. What isn't in the Constitution is how often you do it.
That's right. You could do it. You could do it every year if you want.
You could do it every year if you feel like it. You could do it every 6 months. Now, the objections you would have typically if you said, "Hey, I want to have one every 6 weeks," they'd be like, "You realize what that's going to cost in manpower,
time, expense." Yeah.
All right. So here's the fun part. This is all federal. We're fitting the bill for this thing. The states don't have a leg to stand on in terms of, well, you can't possibly do one next year.
Oh, yes, we can.
Oh, yes, we can. We're paying for it, and we're using the federal workforce to go ahead and take that census. And so what's going to happen? All right, mark this thing down. Keep in mind. The resistance squad is going to start telling you about what they're going to do in their states. You know what they're going to say? Well, we just won't open the doors. We won't take part. And I'm going to say, that's a great strategy. Fine, you won't be counted. Good luck to you.
Exactly.
Good luck.
Yeah, right.
Enjoy. Ta-ta. See you later.
That's the whole point. Not including people like you that aren't supposed to be voting anyway.
Well, but I'm saying you're going to have
it'll
these
damage
foolish people that'll sit back and say, well, I just don't want to take part. Yeah. Well, okay, fine. Well, then you won't be counted, and it'll damage your party moving forward. Exactly right, yeah. I don't have a problem with any of this. In fact, this is a great idea. This is a tremendous idea from Donald Trump. And because we've even had Stephen Miller, who brought it up, played the audio earlier this hour, it's going to happen. They're going to have a new census that's going to be out here. I would be willing to bet the next year.
Yeah, 2026 is when they're targeting. So next year, in the next 6 months, it'll probably start first quarter of next year.
Yeah,
it seems
coming.
Really likely.
It's going to happen.
People knocking on doors, people coming by. Hey, we just want to count because I remember the census when it happened the last time.
We have 4.
Yep, exactly right.
You count our dog.
Yeah, we got a dozen of them out back. But the wisdom here is Donald Trump being able to think outside the box. Because this could have been done a million times by a million different administrations. They could have all done the same thing. Donald Trump, because he's an outsider, he doesn't get in that group speak, that bubble speak where it's only the prevailing wisdom is thought about. He's thinking about it from a business perspective, just like he does everything else.
You remember the game Hot Potato?
Yeah.
Where you would have a circle, you would have people that would toss the potato around, and then whoever had it at the end, they would lose. I feel like what is going on with the Uniparty, they've treated the country like a hot potato that they both kind of want. They're like, okay, it's your turn. All right, well, toss it back to me. Okay, cool. Okay, I got this out. Okay, now your turn. Donald Trump is the first person in our lifetime that's actually come over, and when that potato got tossed in between the two, he just went, no, you are not dealing with this anymore.
It's so funny to see the Republicans, the establishment Republicans, pretend to not be that, though, right? Because they've always been, because we talked about it earlier. When they go to D.C., they're like, I'm going up there to fix things, and then they fit in hand in glove and do exactly what the Democrats do.
A massive difference. Do not underplay this. A massive difference between 2016, 2017 to 2020, 2021, especially early on in Trump's administration. The establishment Republicans were not certain that they needed him in order to be reelected. They all know for damn sure now they need him to be reelected. They pretend to be MAGA. They were like, hey, will you please give me an endorsement?
Can you give me a hat?
Because they know they can't win without him.
That's
it's
right.
Totally different than what was going on in his first administration.
People voted for him, not the Republican Party. When we continue on Extra 106.3, James Carville stepped in it and had to tell the truth about the First Lady. Next on the Morning Extra.
The Morning Extra on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3 FM.
Good morning, it's Los. Let's talk about True Prep. First off, if you want to go to the store, good for you. It's awesome. 1000 Cobb Parkway in Marietta. But they also encourage you, if you just want to check in and see what they have going on, you can go to trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com. Now, I go on a regular basis because I like to look at the sales and clearance items and also the used guns and gear. They've got all sorts of stuff. When it comes to if you're an outdoor enthusiast, they've got all the equipment for you to get out there safely and have a good time, charge all your stuff, still get all the cool amenities from home. They got that. When it comes to freeze-dried food, they got a ton of that on hand. Sometimes you might look at it online and go, that's pretty expensive. Go to True Prep. You're going to see some of the deals you're able to get on this so that if anything occurs, you're okay. You're fine. Your family is fed. I look at it as, hey, if I'm out of power for 3 or 4 days, how do I handle that? True Prep helps me handle that. And also, when it comes to personal safety and personal defense, True Prep is second to none when it comes to the inventory of guns and ammo, okay? And at the great prices as well, with a staff that can help you find the right firearm for your needs. Is this something that you want to conceal carry? All right, they can help you go in that direction. Is this something you just want for your home? They can help you with that as well. And they oftentimes have workshops to help support that. The first time Gun Buyers Workshop, they've had 2 of them already. Another one's coming up on August 24th. That is where they get you completely ready for all aspects. Again, go to trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow with True Prep.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Friday, August 8th. From the NFL, the Atlanta Falcons open up their preseason schedule tonight from Mercedes-Benz Stadium as the Detroit Lions will play their second preseason game after taking part in the Hall of Fame game last week. Kickoff is set for 7 o'clock. The Falcons plan to give extended time on the field to their rookies, including first-round picks Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr. The Atlanta Braves, their 3-game losing streak is over after a late-inning rally makes up for a 4-run deficit, beating the Miami Marlins 8-6. The final. Game 2 of 4 is set for tonight. Bryce Elder and Edward Cabrera will be on the mound. First pitch is set for 7:15. You can hear that game live on our sister station's brand new app, 680 The Fan. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Social Security was never meant to be the sole source of income in retirement. So, Coach Pete, why is it so important to have another guaranteed source of income?
Because then you're in control. If you're depending on Social Security only, that's going to be a difficult decision. I mean, how are you going to manage that? I mean, it's not going to be fun. It's all about control. The more money you have put aside for retirement, the more control you're going to have about your fun in retirement. And to me, why retire if you're not going to have fun? Make sure you have that Coach Pete's Power Plan. There's 22 steps behind the scenes, and we're going to offer this. We've seen others charge over $1,000 for plans like this. Coach Pete's Power Plan, which is a total retirement plan, which will feature lifetime income you can't outlive, ways to pay for long-term care without having a long-term care policy. Very big one, by the way. I've taken everything that we talk about, I've taken advantage of myself.
A no-cost, no-obligation comprehensive review with Coach Pete's local trusted advisor, Craig Chandler, Chandler Wealth Management. 800-419-6164. 800-419-6164.
Hey, it's Flounder here, and this month at Solomon Brothers Jewelers, we're celebrating love with a full month dedicated to the trend-setting, award-winning designs of Gnome Carver and Crown Ring, two of the most iconic names in bridal jewelry. Whether you're shopping for an engagement ring or wedding bands, we've got the largest selection in Atlanta. Special offers all month long, and every piece is backed by our low price guarantee. Even on Gnome Carter's latest Luna collection featuring a patented pillow comfort interior. And here's something you don't want to miss. Wedding Band Weekend is happening August 15th through 17th for 3 days only. Buy one wedding band, get one half off on all wedding bands in the store. It's the perfect time to find your forever rings. Come see us on Peachtree Road in Buckhead, on Old Milton Parkway in Alpharetta, or on Fisher Crossings Drive, Sharpsburg. And you can always shop online at SolomonBrothers.com and click Book Appointment for your private consultation with one of our expert jewelers.
Hey, this is Matt from East Cobb. We basically bought our house from our in-laws. It was my wife's childhood home. One of the issues that we've had when we first moved in was our dog in our backyard. It was extremely shaded, could never grow grass back there. We resodded it twice. So ATL Turf Co. did an amazing job with our backyard transformation. They basically created a miniature golf hole. We have a miniature fairway. We also have a miniature little putting green. Consists of about 4 holes, total about 40 yards, so you can definitely work on your short game and your putting. After that transformation that ATL Turf Co. did for us, my father-in-law came and saw his house the way it looked after the fact of we had a putting green and a miniature golf course. Sure enough, he did the same thing with ATL Turf Co. He has a beautiful backyard, wonderful stonework, drainage, and a beautiful practice area for chipping and putting. Check them out online at atlturfco.com.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious, with better nutrition too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Pete, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
Look at the poor Democrat Party. For years, they told us nothing could be done about illegal immigration unless they passed some more bills in Congress. How long did it take Trump to put the lie to that? 2 days, I believe.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Friend of the show, Kelvin King, reached out. Of course, Kelvin is running for Secretary of State here in the state of Georgia. And he said our discussion about the movie Seven is giving him creeps and cold chills as he drives to the office.
It's one of those movies, man. You think about certain scenes, and there's one for everybody that sticks with you.
No kidding, of course. And then Kelvin's wife, Janelle, does her show, the Janelle King Show, Saturdays and Sundays here on Extra 106.3. Great family. We love those guys and appreciate Kelvin checking out the show.
I mean, ponder one of the clues. They're able to figure out how to find one of the victims because they use his hand to do fingerprints on the wall to write.
So gross.
You're like, oh.
And remember the scene where they find that the dude that had engorged himself, eaten until his stomach was the first.
Yes, gluttony.
Gluttony was the first one. And I I can't remember if it was Morgan Freeman or Brad Pitt. I think Morgan Freeman. He had found the shards of pieces that had been cut
the refrigerator
out of the floor and fed into him. Like they were showing up in his
because
system.
he wouldn't burst quick enough.
That's right. So
I was like, that's pretty gross.
Dude, just how diabolical.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
The other thing about Morgan Freeman, I agree with our good friend Stephanie, who's listening. She talks about how good he is as like the straight man, the Rock in that movie. When he goes, please, clearly a shut-in. It's like, this guy is not wandering about town.
Exactly right, yeah. Dude, I think that's when if I remember correctly, that's the first movie I remember Morgan Freeman in, seeing him and fell in love with him as an actor because of that movie.
Oh, I loved him in Glory. Glory's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, that's a great one.
That movie from '89, because that's the first time Denzel Washington got an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor, and he and Morgan Freeman, like every scene they're in, as much as Matthew Broderick and Carrie Elway, Freeman and Denzel Washington are the stars of that entire movie.
Glory is amazing.
Such a great movie.
Absolutely, it is. That's one that's worth revisiting too if you haven't seen it in a while. This is one of those that just is off the charts good, and you can't turn it off if you ever see it on. Definitely go check that out.
Marty in Atlanta had a suggestion for the next Freshman 4 sleepover night.
Okay.
Knight's Tale.
Knight's Tale. Oh, okay.
Is that the dude that played the Joker in that?
Yeah.
What's his name?
It's actually kind of, from what I remember it's well done in that it's modern day music with that kind of like era of competition.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, like I said, I think that would work for that age of girls. Although, what I've now found is that, so every girl in Forsyth County, when they get to, I think it's 8th grade, they all read The Outsiders. Every boy and every girl. Like, that's part of their reading curriculum. Then they also will show you the movie. And so the 8th grade girls swoon over all the guys that were in The Outsiders.
Sure.
Then they find out later that what they look like 40 years later. So they all have their favorites. And they're like, well, I like Tom Cruise. I like Ralph Macchio. And then they see them and they're like, oh my God, what happened? I'm like, it's been 40 years.
Yeah, they've grown up, just like you'll grow up.
Yes.
It's just life stops for no one.
You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of those. I would wonder if that would still work with Heath Ledger, if they'd be like, ooh, because let's face it, Heath Ledger spent the first part of his career pure dreamboat, doing the teen stuff, doing those cool movies. It wasn't until you got into like Brokeback Mountain where you're like, okay, that's a pretty critical role. And then clearly as the Joker is
like
his iconic role.
Yeah, I'd never seen anything quite like it. He was so good in that movie.
So amazing.
Yeah. And y'all know I'm not a superhero guy. I'm not a movie guy necessarily. When I saw him in that role, I was blown.
It's the same sort of deal. It's not in the way that you get it with Seven, but it is psychological.
Absolutely.
And you wonder, like, how can you have someone this crazy?
Yeah. What in the world is going on? And just the mouth movements, just the weird ticks.
Yes.
That
the way he breathes, the way he smacks.
Dude, that's just as creepy as anything else in the entire movie.
A huge part of that character.
Yeah, sure it is.
A magic trick.
Yeah. Dude, the way he speaks, all of it, dude.
Ta-da! You're like, oh, no.
I don't think I want to be around this kind of clown. Tug and Los until 10 on Extra. James Carville is a guy that for a long time has been a just figure in the Democrat Party. He helped Clinton so much. He's done it all. I don't know that I've ever seen him apologize until now, Los.
It's a good lesson. Don't let things go. In the past, we've had all sorts of different Republicans, all sorts of different conservatives. When they come under attack, they just let it go. And in this day and age, as we've gotten into the information age and as it's evolved, you can take a lie, and what do they say about a lie? It goes around the world before the truth gets out of bed. And it becomes the narrative, and that's what occurs. So James Carville was on a podcast, and Carville ended up bringing up this idea that Melania Trump ended up meeting Donald Trump through Epstein. And that was part of this podcast. And here's what was going on. The fun part about it, and this is why I tell you don't let stuff go, given what Donald Trump has done, they received, Carville and the podcaster received a letter from Melania Trump's attorneys. And this is what you got from James Carville as of yesterday. In last week's podcast episode, I spoke with Judd Lungam After the episode, we received a letter from Melania Trump's lawyer. He took issue with our title of one of those YouTube videos from that episode and a couple of comments I made about the First Lady. We took a look at what they complained about, and we took down the video and edited out those comments from the episode. I also take back these statements and apologize.
Pretty straightforward.
Pretty straightforward of, they're going to sue me. I got this wrong.
And you know why he acted so quickly? 60 Minutes, ABC News, and The View. Because all of them, at least the first two, have been sued like for incredible amounts of money. And The View has made it a habit. When they get it wrong, which is often, they have to go back on and the producers make them apologize in the next segment.
What I have enjoyed is when you get the liberal influencers that are on X, that when stuff like this comes out, they run with it. Look how they met. This is what occurred. Where this has been very public. They actually met, I think it was through a designer. With that being pointed out, there's nothing more fun than going back at them and saying, so what were you saying about how they met? You want to talk about Epstein again?
One more time.
Speak
it into my good ear.
I'm just saying, I got Carville over here who's apologizing and backing off of this. Would you like to, and they've edited all of this out, would you like to explain that?
You sure you don't want to take that back?
That's how it goes, every time.
And it will cost, and Carville knows it, cost millions. What was it, 18 million from
how much
ABC News?
How much does James Carville want to lose by holding on to this?
All you have to do is tell the truth.
And in this case, backed off and said, backed off and said, I apologize and take back these statements.
Yeah, my bad. But here's the problem with it, Los. And I'm glad that he did apologize and he felt compelled to apologize. Is that he knew when he was saying it wasn't true.
But these people get emotional in the moment.
Yeah, and they just say anything.
I think part of what we do, and I'm always very cognizant of it, I always joke around about allegedly. I am cognizant of whatever we put out there could potentially make us a target. So I want to cover all the bases.
Sure, yeah.
And if I'm going to reference something, I'm going to give you the source. I have, at least to my knowledge, I've never once jumped into something where I didn't have personal knowledge or I didn't have a source or I didn't have something I read to cite who the person, the author, where the information came from. Carville's throwing this thing out, just be like, yeah, that's how they did.
That's it.
Who'd you hear that from?
That's the truth.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It's just the truth because I said so.
Doesn't work that way anymore.
It does not. You actually have to tell the truth, James Carville. Thank you for doing so. Thank you for correcting that. The star on CNN, man, he lights up the left's scoreboard on this redistricting thing. We'll play it for you next after a Neil Bortz report and a Fox News update. 8 o'clock hour brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning.
Time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Xtra 106.3.
Okay, the Queen and I have been married for 52 years, and we knew each other rather well for a couple of years before that. So in that time, I've learned how to really make her mad. And there's one word that does it. Well, actually, it's an acronym. Now, I got to tell you, Donna is a very elio-mercenary person. Look it up if you didn't go to a state school. The one word that will get on Donna's nerves like none other is FEMA. We're having an argument. I want to win it. I'll just look at her and say, FEMA, and she turns and stomps away. Donna worked Red Cross after Hurricane Katrina. Very long days taking care of refugees. She knows what a complete loser FEMA is and has been. But here's something that popped up in the news, a couple of months ago, maybe a year ago, that you may have forgotten. After some recent hurricanes in Florida, by recent I mean last year, a FEMA supervisor in Florida, her name was Marnie Washington, that's MARN''I. She instructed FEMA workers when they were going to neighborhoods to find somebody that might need help after the hurricane, instructed them to skip any houses that had a Trump campaign side in their yard. That's right. If they were Trump voters, FEMA would bypass them and not offer them aid and assistance in Florida. It was part of a Biden-ordered effort to build up Democrat votes before the election. Stroke and pet people who seem like they're going to vote Democrat and ignore the Republicans. Marnie with an apostrophe was eventually fired, and FEMA was exposed for what it is, a voter outreach project by the Democrats. An entire busload of FEMA workers is not worth one good Red Cross volunteer, like my wife. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 9 a.m. hour is presented by Southern Exteriors. Quality and precision you can rely on.
They might meet at the end of next week. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump and Russian leader Vladimir Putin working to finalize a time and place. As the president keeps trying to stop the war in Ukraine, its leader would not be part of these talks.
Meantime, today is the deadline for Putin to agree to peace negotiations or face those sweeping sanctions, including secondary sanctions on countries doing business with Russia, which would be a big deal for Russian oil buyers like China and India. President Trump has not indicated whether he'll move the deadline amid efforts to arrange this summit.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House. Israel's security cabinet's approved a plan to escalate the war against Hamas by taking over Gaza City, which Hamas calls a war crime. U.S. Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee tells Fox that's absurd.
They cannot let this continue to go on. We saw the videos last weekend of hostages. You want to talk about starvation and hunger? The hostages are starving.
It's believed Hamas still has 20 hostages that are still alive. Some of their families are protesting the new Israeli plan for Gaza, fearing hostage deaths. Dozens of Democratic lawmakers who left Texas to block a vote on congressional redistricting that could give the GOP 5 more House seats are being warned to return or else.
They show up today, we're all happy, we can get our business done, and everybody's good. If they do not show up, we will be in an Illinois courtroom.
Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton tells Fox the Democrats could be jailed and they may try to remove him from office. Democrats say they've broken no laws blocking a vote. Another wildfire is burning in California. It grew fast and it's out of control.
Within that hour and a half, we have flames all over up in the mountains.
More than 2,000 people under evacuation orders around the LA and Ventura County line, about 4,800 acres of burn. They just arrested a suspected gunman in Ohio after a manhunt all morning. He was wanted for shooting and wounding 2 police officers in East Cleveland last night. They're in stable condition. So are 2 Pennsylvania state troopers the day after they were ambushed and wounded near Thompson, north of Philadelphia, responding to a deadly shooting. The gunman was killed in a standoff with police. America's listening to Fox News.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're a different kind of wireless company dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Because let's face it, our needs are different. Big wireless unlimited plans are designed for 20-somethings, not us. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on one thing, bringing you affordable, reliable rate plans that suit your needs, not ours. How do we do that? We start by using the same towers as the big guys, the exact same towers. We then create rate plans designed for your usage. The fact is, we can offer you an unlimited plan with the same network quality for less because we understand how you use wireless services. Our plans start at just $20 a month. And forget trying to chat with robots. You'll get 100% US-based award-winning customer service when you need help. Come find out how wireless should be and join the millions who've made the switch.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Coffee, keys, and Extra 106.3. That's how I get to work and home.
Tug and Los on a Thank God It's Friday on Extra 106.3. Glad that you're here. Hoping that you've enjoyed the show. Dre and I were just chatting during the Fox News update about how we've talked about everything today. We've talked about the politics. We've talked about the things that matter, but we have worked in so much that was unexpected, from adopting dogs and Sarah McLachlan's very sad song with those dogs with flies around their eyeballs to the movie Seven and how it creeps people out as they drive to work. That's been today.
And your toys being thrown at WNBA players.
Well, yeah, that's right.
Again.
Again. Yes. We talked about a little bit of that too. It continues to happen.
Still makes me laugh.
It does.
Maybe like 2 or 3 more and I won't find it as funny. But you're going to need to throw 2 or 3 more.
Yeah, that's right. It just depends.
I'm just wondering what other kinds of social functions this activity shows up at. Is this going to make it to the midterms?
You're just curious.
Democrat giving a rally speech?
That's great.
I have to go sit in another program meeting.
Oh, my God.
We all get dumber together and then suddenly it's like, ha-ha!
Just on the table. I saw this crazy video.
So you see poor Kelly Kroll next to me going like, oh my God. And I'll be like, okay, cool.
Our new coworker here at Dickey Broadcasting down the hall.
I'm not telling people that whenever Ossoff gets out there and starts saying, yeah, put me back in there.
And then just on his stage.
I'm not saying you should throw an object.
No, you shouldn't.
But it might be funny.
But if it happened to show up safely somewhere without it being looked at as a threat. But I mean, isn't it by nature a threat?
It is, yes. And so much so they're arresting people for it. You're charging people for it. Unbelievable. I did see this video, and it was a bunch of dudes, and somebody decides to throw one, and the guy's bald-headed, and it sticks right on his forehead.
Like a plunger?
Yes, just like that. Dude, it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. I don't know why it struck me as humorous as it did, but probably the same way, Los, that it strikes you when it gets thrown on the WNBA court.
I can't help it.
You're just like, what just happened?
Right now, I just can't help it.
What just happened? God.
It just needs to be done enough where I go, okay, that's old. Stop it.
Yeah, right, enough. But it's going to be a while. I have a feeling it's going to be.
Like there's certain dances that people do, and initially it's like, man, that looks pretty cool. It's like an end zone dance. And then you're like, all right.
Right.
I haven't gotten to the all right portion.
Well, then there's that, and the fact that, you know, when you get humor out of it, it does take a while. I don't know about you. It takes a little while for things to get old for me. I probably last longer than most. Most people are like, all right, I've had enough. I still have some gas in the tank when that stuff goes down.
Still having truck nuts?
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I absolutely hysterically laugh and point at them as I'm driving by. Look, there they are again.
I hadn't seen them in forever. I thought they were gone.
That's right. And my sweet wife is like, that's so gross. Why do people do it? And I was like, exactly. That's why. Right there. They do it because of that. All right. Two things that I suppose matter. I mean, it's Friday. Does anything matter on a Friday, really?
Everything kind of gets scaled back a little bit because you know you have fun around the corner.
Yeah, that's right.
I know by the time we hit 10 o'clock, now I don't have to be anywhere till 5:30. And I already feel like I got in the workouts for the week. So today, I'm just like, today's an off day. Today, we're going to go grab something from like a hot bar and either go chill at the house or, depending on what the neighbors are doing, I'm like, who wants to hit the pool?
Yeah. God.
We got to find a patio for a beer or something.
I wish I could do that today, man. Today would be the most ideal day. We got to drop off the dog. I got a workout scheduled, and then
you got to go get another dog.
No, I don't know. Don't need to do that.
Drop off one dog and go adopt another.
No, don't need to do that. But and some work here is going to keep me a little bit later than I would like on a Friday, but it's all right. Man, I'm going to make it through. So Scott Jennings is the shining star at CNN, a network that not many people watch. And he just absolutely kicks the daylights out of the Democrats on redistricting. If it's, rigging the election in Texas, isn't it also rigging the election in blue states? Or does that only apply to Republicans?
If it's rigging the election, that's your words, in Texas, is it going to be rigging the election when all these Democrats who say they're going to gerrymander in the other state, are you also going to argue that they're rigging the election or just in Texas?
Yes,
and have the elections been rigged in Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Maryland, New Mexico, Hawaii, Oregon, Washington, and Rhode Island? Have they been rigged there as well? Because there, the proportion of Republican vote comes nowhere near what they have in Congress.
They did a normal redistricting process. If states end up going, if states end up going and calling special sessions and doing all of these things to try to gain seats, I agree. I don't agree with that. Do I think they need to do it? Absolutely, because if Republicans aren't going to play fair, then Democrats aren't going to play fair.
This is the ultimate. Well, we've not done that. We play by the rules. I heard so many Democrats yesterday on mainstream media where they just couldn't wait to tell you how Democrats always play by the rules, and it's those dastardly Republicans that are breaking the rules, and they feel like they have to go and fight fire with fire. They have to take a knife to a knife fight.
All right, you want the simple response? That's fine. Don't care. Oh, you think I'm cheating? Okay, yes, I'm cheating. That's fine. I tell you what you need to do is you need to go back to Illinois or California, wherever else you choose to, and cheat harder. What you're going to find is you already did.
Yeah, there's no room left.
There's nowhere to go.
They know that, dude.
It's a scenario where you've already lost the fight once this occurs. You know what's going to happen. And your only response is, well, y'all can't do that. Well, we're going to. Well, that's cheating. Yes, that's fine. Well, we are going to do it too. Okay, go for it.
It's time.
Nothing will happen.
It's time.
Nothing will change. We have them on the ropes. This is the reason why. And I was seeing this as part of the James Carville stuff. When he started talking about trying to win as much as they can in 2028 because they need to add Puerto Rico and D.C. as states.
Dude.
That's how desperate they are. That's where they know the problem. They're actually trying to change the election map in that regard because they know they can't win with this current one. And they know this is basically check. Checkmate's coming. Check has been called on the board. They know we're in trouble. We're about to go down. That's the scenario. That's why they're talking about some of this crazy stuff. And that's why they have no response on CNN when you say, oh, is that cheating? We'll do it too. Okay, go for it. Have at it.
You've already done it.
It's already been done.
404-741-1230. Liberal John has an opinion on the redistricting. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Hey, guys. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, John.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think it's cheating. I don't care who's doing it. I think it is rigging the election. I don't care if it's left, right, red, blue. And I think something should be done to stop it as soon as possible.
Well, John, it's strictly up to the states and their discretion. That's why the states run the elections.
It might be, but I still say it's cheating. It's just wrong, and that's why they're doing it.
Well, cheating John, cheating in what way? Like in the state of Texas, what has gone on, and here's what's not talked about. They're redistricting that's actually creating larger Hispanic districts. The problem is, for the left, and what's not being talked about, and probably has never even been said to you, these districts, as Hispanics, as people that traditionally vote Democrat, voted hard for Donald Trump. Are they not supposed to secure representation based on their community, which is largely Hispanic?
They absolutely should be able to secure that, but I think that it just comes a point to where when the left does it, I think it's cheating as well.
No, right. So you're saying
same way that they were called out in, I think it was Illinois the other night.
That's right. Princeton says it's
theirs is ridiculous. Theirs is very silly.
Right. So I just think it's cheating.
No, I see what you're saying, but that's the thing.
Thank you for the call, John. And yes,
no one ever brought it up, though. That's the problem. No one ever said it was cheating until now. Now, all of a sudden, it is.
It took Texas to redraw districts. And here's where I say that we're talking about it being large Hispanic communities. They're not drawing it according to demographics, which is actually in line with the Voting Act of 1967. They're not supposed to draw lines in these districts based on race. Yet, that has been a Democrat practice. Now, as you point out, when we start saying, why don't we do this in Florida? Why don't we do this in South Carolina? Why don't we do this in Texas? Why is it available in all of these states? Because it hadn't been done. Whereas it's been done in all of these other Democrat states. If they have done it and we want to call it cheating, okay, then fine, let's call it cheating. But you don't get to cheat, and then the other side doesn't get a response. It's almost like I get to punch you in the face and say the fight is over.
Yeah. And it's interesting that you've not seen any Republicans have any conservatives, any red state politicians, you've not seen a reaction from them because they already know. There's like, it's fine. Do whatever you feel like you need to do because you've already done it. That's why there's been zero reaction.
They're like, have at it.
There's no one getting in front of cameras going, I can't believe that they're doing this in Illinois and California, and because it's already been done to the gills.
And the issue you have in Texas, why Jasmine Crockett knows she's going to lose, her district is largely drawn, if you look at Texas 30, it's South Dallas. South Dallas, when it comes to the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, is the largest black community that you're going to find in the Metroplex. The new district, which no longer she is in, the new Texas 30, includes large amounts of the northern part of Dallas to include the southern part. That actually throws the numbers back into it's now an even group of people. And she knows unless I have this large of a black community district, I won't win. But you're incorporating now large amounts of white and Hispanic communities in that group. She's going to have to win them both, and most of them voted for Trump. That's why she's upset. This is not, if you want to talk about like whether it's fair or it's cheating, How is it cheating to redraw districts that include larger amounts of people that are actually does not have a particular
race favor
to any of it?
Yeah, there is no. You can't say anything, and that's why I'm proud of the Republicans not taking the bait, because typically it just seems like they'll be like out in front of the cameras, and their focus is in the right place. Finally, after all these years, they're finally focused on winning and doing what's best for the country.
It's not just right leadership, because Donald Trump has been trying to point this direction for a while. It's now a coming of age of Gen X that's in charge of this. I'm telling you, when you look back at 2016, most of us were sitting right around 33, 34. Maybe we'd gotten a little bit political. None of us had any sort of clout, and certainly none of us were holding political office because, in fact, by law, most of us couldn't hold high-end political office. Well, that's different now.
Yeah, it is.
8 years later, that's different now. And so it's all these 42, 43, 44-year-olds that are cooking your goose, man. This is great.
They've seen it over and over and over again. They've seen Republicans lay down and conservatives lay down and roll over because most of them, yeah, maybe they went to D.C. with the right intention. They get there, they get swallowed up by the machine because it is a machine. And there's so many Republicans that are just as filthy, stinky, dirty as the Democrats. They work hand in hand together. This new generation, this new right, as Los calls it, they are blowing it. I mean, like Wile E. Coyote, blowing it up. And things are changing.
Consider how often.
Doesn't matter.
Legally, you got to be 30 years old to be a senator. How many 32-year-old senators do you see? Just doesn't happen.
Yeah, fair.
Like most of the time, the voters, especially because the older generation does look to have some people that have a little bit of maturity to them, are not going to vote for a 30-year-old. Now we've got all of our leadership basically into their early 40s, mid 40s. This is the spot.
Life experience.
This is the spot. This is where we're supposed to be at.
Because we've talked about it a million times.
And by the way, all understanding the new right, it's not just Donald Trump. He just showed you how to fight these people.
And I don't even think they know that they're labeled that.
No,
you know what I mean?
That's me. I've been on this for 3 years.
That's what I'm saying. But I don't think they realize yet that that's an actual thing. Like these are just people doing what they've seen that is effective and works. Now we've kind of put a label on them, and it works every time. They fall into that mold of, hey, we're going to shake this up. We're going to be the disruptor.
They reject the premise off the bat. I think that's one thing that I find really fun about Stephen Miller is when a reporter, somebody gives him a question in which they create the premise, he's like, hell no. Like, that's not happening. And for years, Republicans would take questions or have discussions based off of whatever premise you set. So you can set whatever crazy premise you want.
Russiagate is the example.
It's like, well, we're going to have to argue under this.
Yeah.
This is something that people who have grown up following politics and who are now into their 40s and who now find themselves in places of power and influence know right off top of the bat. As soon as you start getting a question or you read an article, know that they're setting the premise. That means they're creating the battlefield and they've got the high ground no matter what.
And Stephen Miller punts them like the NFL as it
Rubio's
starts.
doing it. Yeah, DeSantis is doing it.
But
honestly,
nobody
Trump does it.
Nobody does it like Stephen
J.D.
Miller.
Vance handles, yeah.
Absolutely. J.D. Vance is funny. Remember when...
I mean, Besant, the funny part about the Treasury Secretary when he was on Face the Nation, he's like, listen, you've been saying this since March. Maybe you should leave this up to the experts.
If you don't mind.
Baby girl.
Yeah,
it's the only thing he didn't do.
Pat on the head.
Yeah, which, I mean, can't be sexist, right?
Yeah.
He's a gay man. Yeah. See how this deflector shield works?
Exactly
He can call them all baby girl. It's going to be great. God, it's so much fun winning right now.
Playing a different game. He's just playing a different game altogether.
Like, okay, what am I going to say to this guy? When it comes to J.D. Vance, I'll be Sonny Hoskins. I'll call him racist. All right, he's got an Indian wife. Damn it! All right, well, he's born with a silver spoon. It's like Mitt Romney. No, he wasn't. Mom was all on drugs. Damn it!
He's been in recovery now, celebrating 10 years.
It's like, what exactly do I do here? He's fat and unattractive. The gays love him. Damn it! Which one works here?
They love. Dude, that's the funny thing.
Yes, he is. Gay Twitter loves JD Vance.
And it's so funny to see them respond to it when they're like, I don't want to like him,
but I like him.
But he's so damn good looking. You know?
Hilarious.
It is. It's so funny. But it creates this new dynamic that we've never had the privilege of seeing before.
It's a lot of fun.
It is, man. I love it.
It's a lot of fun right now.
I feel like we need to get into this a little bit because I really don't know where.
You want me to try?
Yes, because I'm not sure.
All right. So Neil deGrasse Tyson was on with CBS, and he's the noted astronomy expert, astrophysicist, brilliant guy. Now, I give you this background because it helps explain how his response worked. Neil deGrasse Tyson got really caught up in the Me Too movement.
I remember that.
Some of the things that he was accused of, and a lot of people were accused of some stuff during that time period. And oftentimes it was, you don't even need proof, just believe every woman. Okay. Have dudes acted inappropriately? Hell yeah. Would I like a little bit more proof? I would like that too.
But it goes.
But at the time, it was just you got caught up in it. And so people on the left, like Tyson, would immediately have to bend the knee and go along with anything. That was how you avoided it. You had somebody who was saying something about you, you like bend the knee, go with anything. It's why he went so hard with COVID. He's like, everything that was suggested from the left on COVID, he went along with. And as this genius level guy, everyone's like, well, if Neil deGrasse Tyson says it, must be true. So he's on CBS, and they start talking about the idea of colonization of the moon. And the host goes down a certain road. What I'm going to tell you is this. Neil deGrasse Tyson tries to keep from rolling his eyes.
Yeah.
And he barely is able to keep it from happening. He starts to nervous laugh because here's the moment where he's supposed to go, you, sir, are an idiot. Like, this is a dumb thing for you to bring up when it comes to colonization of the moon. And he just kind of bites his tongue and plays along with it. Take a listen to what the media is concerned with when it comes to us visiting other worlds.
But if we want to keep growing a population, or if we want to live forever, all right, we're going to need another planet.
So is that the moon? Because I
don't want to live on the moon.
Right? Will it serve as a functional life source eventually for human beings? And B, we know how the age of colonialism worked on this planet. Should we be trying to colonize and saying that there's a keep out zone that not other countries can participate in having?
Well, the real problem with the colonization history in Western civilization is that there were people already there. Right? There are no moon beings that were displaced.
As far as we know.
His face, like, seriously, you're bringing up colonization on a place that doesn't have any life.
Dude, the ignorance of all of it. And then the fact that they zeroed in and said, well, it's just Western civilization that struggles with this. That's on top of the fact that nobody lives on the moon. They just pin it to it's Europe and the United States. Those are the only ones guilty of colonization, and everybody else is as clean as wind-driven snow.
When we go to Mars, eventually down the road, hopefully in our lifetime, we'll see Mars. Maybe.
You think so?
There's we have.
We can't get back to the moon, man.
Have we been?
Well, see, there's something.
I'm sorry, Glenn Beck. I think it's a legitimate question.
Either way, whether we've never been or we're going back, we've not done it.
I don't know if Glenn Beck is aware that there's a radiation belt that surrounds the planet that we don't seem to be able to get away from, but we were able to do it in the 1960s, and we've never done it going back, and we don't have any information on how we did it, and we destroyed all those records. Okay, now I'm getting into tinfoil hat range. I'm just saying, I think we went.
Me too.
I just think that we also made sure that we filmed what we filmed
to make
it look like the way it did.
Right. Which I think is the most logical hypothesis. I really do.
Occam's razor. The most likely answer is probably the best one. But with that being pointed out, when we go to Mars and we figure out the propulsion issue and the belt that we got to get through that's giant amounts of radiation, it looks like it would melt everything and kill every human. Once we figure that out, I don't think when we land, anyone's going to go, so Sharia law or what?
Yeah, let's get started with that right away. It's insanity. All of it's insane.
Did y'all bring your burqas?
Yeah, that's right. And you better be covered up.
It better be none of you in swimsuits around here, those bikinis.
That's right. We will have none of that. That's only Western civilizations, those devils. When we continue on Extra 106.3, the 9 o'clock hour brought to you by Southern Exteriors, 8779 Southern, southernexteriors.co. The illegal jails and the naming rights is fantastic. Next on Extra.
If you love 106.3, then you'll love the all-new Extra 106.3 app. It's loaded with replays of your favorite shows like the Morning Xtra and the Kimmer Show, podcasts from conservative voices across the South, and access to Extra's crystal clear live stream from anywhere in Georgia. Grab it now for Apple or Android.
Good morning, Mike. What you eating?
You gotta try this.
I can hear you crunching from the next cube over.
This is amazing. I just discovered it this weekend at Lidl. It's Greek Goddess Gourmet Granola. They were sampling it, so I tried it. Then I bought 6 bags.
Wow. Is it cereal?
Can be. Or an amazing trail mix. It's great for a meal or a snack.
What's in it?
Well, they have 2 flavors, maple oat and harvest nut, which is my favorite. It's made with whole grain oats, almonds, pecans, raisins, coconut, and the sweet taste of pure maple syrup. Maple oat is a simpler take on their delicious granola. It's got wholesome oats, plump raisins, coconut, and maple syrup.
That sounds healthy and delicious.
That's why I can't stop crunching, Susan.
Greek Goddess Gourmet Granola. It's a breakfast or on-the-go snack you can feel good about. It's dairy-free and gluten-free, and with only 2 grams of added sugar per serving, even your belly will love it. Pick some up at Lidl, Amazon, GreekGoddessGourmet.com, or at specialty stores near you.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Retirement means different things to different people. Some folks want to travel the world. Some folks want to spend more time with grandkids. For me, I'm looking forward to spending more time with my guitar. Whether extravagant and robust or simple and cozy, every retirement needs a plan. You wouldn't take a trip without directions. You have to know where you are before you know where you're going. Master Plan Retirement Consultants have helped many like you plan for their own retirement. Not only does Master Plan help you create the roadmap, they join you on the journey. So whether you want to travel the world, become a pickleball champ, or just looking for a good porch, a sturdy rocking chair, and an acoustic guitar, remember to plan well because the destination is worth it. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
A company that has been trusted in Atlanta for over 25 years has already done their hometown homework, like having the very best people, fair, honest pricing, exceptional customer service, and a focus on high-quality work. That's us. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All 4 Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. Sometimes new isn't better, like out-of-town home improvement companies invading Atlanta with their inflated pricing and subpar work. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
Calling all contractors. This is Devin Stovall, Stovall & Company, and we're here for you. We're a third-generation, family-owned and operated company for 75 years and just opened our 11th location in Canton on 9500 Union Hill Road. We're proud to provide your wholesale irrigation, nursery, and landscape supply needs. How do you envision your dream outdoor space for you or your customers? We're here to fulfill them all. We all take pride in special requests and shipping right to your job site. Here at Stovall, we have it all. Check us out at StovallINC.com.
Hey, Atlanta's Mark from the Safe House. I have a question for you. Am I the only person pissed off with the mainstream fake news, liberal judges,
and whiny liberal politicians
who don't realize why Donald Trump is president, and fake safes? And you may wonder, why fake safes? Well, a fake safe is like Joe Biden, cheap and ineffective. A real safe from Atlanta Safe House is like Donald Trump, tough, effective, and provides peace of mind when you need it the most. So drop by Atlanta Safe House and check out the largest selection of safes in the Southeast and see what a real safe looks like. So go to atlantasafehouse.com.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPsETC.com.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Friday, August 8th. The Cobb County 911 system received a major technology upgrade, launching Next Generation 911. The new system provides more accurate call routing and allows callers to send text, pictures, and video. Officials say it will cut down on response time across the board and improve reliability during major incidents and natural disasters. The Secret Service confiscated nearly 24 credit card skimmers in Metro Atlanta. The devices were attached to card readers at checkout points in several grocery stores and gas stations. It's part of a broader effort to crack down on fraud. Officials say to be on the lookout when paying and always check before swiping or tapping your card. Georgia ranks second in the nation in consumer fraud. And if you're looking for a new four-legged friend, head to Forsyth County this weekend. The Forsyth County Pet and Adoption Resource Center is holding a Clear the Shelter event on Saturday from 10:30 to 5. The shelter will be waiving all adoption fees to make it easier for pets to find their forever home. Today's weather partly cloudy and temperatures reaching the low 80s. No rain in the forecast this weekend, but we'll keep those cooler temperatures. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
9 o'clock hour brought to you by Southern Exteriors, your home exterior solution since 1999, 8779 Southern, southernexteriors.co. Thank you for being here on a Friday. Next door to us, Truist Park. For that, Turner Field. For that, Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. All kinds of names for stadiums around the country, and sometimes they get nicknames that like Turner Field was the Ted. It had a nickname.
The Ted.
Do jails normally have nicknames?
You do have some around the country.
Yeah, the Rock.
Yeah, like the Rock. That was there.
I hadn't thought about it.
I mean, people knew what, and part of it was because of the prison riot, but people knew like Attica. Like you knew there was some famous jails around the country. There's one in California. It's like their Supermax. Mm-hmm. That place is nuts. Like I've seen like documentaries on like how incredibly insane that place is in terms of this amount of security, because it's the worst of the worst in California. Like everyone in there is a killer or a gang member, and it's a constant battle all the time in their Supermax.
In Fort Leavenworth, people just call it Leavenworth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of an nickname.
That's your federal jail.
Yeah.
Leavenworth.
But I hadn't really thought about it at this point. That's kind of a nickname in itself. I mean, normally if you think about nicknames, it's the Slammer, the Clink, or something like that.
Right. So like Alligator Alcatraz, which, by the way, did you see the federal judge who tried to cease the operation?
Yeah. And DeSantis was like, no, thank you.
It's like, no, it's not happening.
Yeah,
like, sorry about that. Like, you don't have any authority over this.
Obama appointed judge.
Yes. Like, well, I'll put a stop to that. Yeah, well, you better come down here.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that. And we had it earlier this week. You and I had talked about how Indiana Slammer kind of sounded like an adult film.
Yes.
Maybe at the worst a shot.
Yeah, right.
Like the Indiana Slammer.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be a cool nickname.
Give me two Indiana Slammers.
Like if Tug was some sort of.
Uh-oh. Our microphone
Did
is
it do it
acting up.
again?
No, you're back. You're good.
Okay. Yeah, so if Tug somehow became known as, because he was a great baseball player from Evansville, Indiana, he's the Indiana Slammer.
Right.
It'd be a great name.
Yeah, for sure it would.
It'd be a totally great name. So I asked AI to help me make some names.
Oh, here we go.
And to see, all right, which ones would work for us according to, different states.
Okay.
So for instance, and by the way, I asked it like, can you make it to where it's a prison, but maybe there's a little bit of an homage to men being with men. So like for instance, in Alabama, they had the Badger Bordello. Alaska had the Moose Moonlight Motel.
Okay. All right.
How about in Arkansas? Now, this is because apparently Arkansas is known for raccoons. Like, I guess they have a large raccoon population.
Okay.
That's what I've been told by AI. I've got the Raccoon Rumpus Retreat.
Anytime you can work rumpus in, that's good. I don't think I've heard rumpus since fourth grade.
Apparently in Colorado, because I thought beavers were mostly, it's obviously Oregon, but apparently in mountainous areas of Colorado, they have a large amount of beavers, according to AI.
Well, and this works perfectly.
The Beaver Booty Bunker. Oh, my God. Delaware has the Squirrel Swinger Shack. Georgia has the Peach Pounding Possum Pen.
Of course it does.
Illinois has so Chicago's got some, it's talking about some of the vermin they have.
Yeah.
Illinois has the Skunk Skanky Slammer. Let's see. Kentucky, the Stallion Stud Stable.
Oh, that sounds legitimate, dude. That sounds like it could be a strip club.
So as long as we're making these around the country, like if we're gonna have Alligator Alcatraz, you're gonna have Indiana Slammer. Apparently, we're gonna give nicknames for all of these now,
dude. And the fact that you have one for every state in the country is incredible. I mean, the list that I'm looking at over Los's shoulder on his computer is incredible.
Indiana, which we have Indiana Slammer, but just in case, you have the Hoosier Hump and Hair Haven.
Yuck. Hump and Hair Haven. Yuck.
Louisiana, the Crawfish Crotch Camp.
Dude, that just sounds like crabs.
Yeah, it really does.
It just sounds very itchy.
Yeah,
swampy.
So that's just a little bit of a rundown. As long as we're going to have these facilities, because they're They're not prisons, right?
Yep.
They're just
they're deportation.
They're deportation facilities.
Yep.
I guess we're going to give them all names. And to think, what has it been since like a handful of prisons around the country? We now everybody knows Alligator Alcatraz.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, there's
Indiana
t-shirts.
Slammer's going to be next. Yeah,
you can buy t-shirts. Yeah.
And this has been encouraged now for the next 3.5 years. Put these together all over the country.
And they're building that big one in South Georgia. So what was the name
and
of
you're getting another one in South Carolina. Oh, in Georgia?
Yeah, what was it again?
The Peach Pounding Possum Pen.
Give me like a Wyoming or some random.
Wyoming, let's see. Wyoming has the Elk Erotic Enclave.
Yeah, of course it does. The Elk Erotic Enclave.
Vermont, because remember, they're trying to work in some sort of animal with some sort of lodging. The Maple Milkin Marmot Manor for Vermont. Texas, the Longhorn Lust Lockup. That one might actually be perfect.
That's good. That one is really good. What Nevada? Because you think about all the crazy things that happened in Las Vegas and outside of Nevada.
Oh, it says Sin City Bunnies hopping into trouble. The Jackrabbit Joint.
Jackrabbit Joint.
Okay.
As far as especially if you're coming from a gay club perspective, that would work.
But isn't that the idea? It's that it's got to have something to do with like your state. Obviously, Alligator Alcatraz, but Indiana Slammer. All right, it's Indiana and Slammer. Okay, it's like a facility.
Yeah.
But shouldn't we have something that's a little bit more like racing oriented?
Yeah, you would think so because of the Indianapolis 500 and
I've seen
the
Speedway
Brickyard
Slammer going around.
Speedway Slammer.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that one makes sense.
That one totally is the way it should go.
What about in Ohio? Because you're probably going to have a Republican governor up there.
Buckeye Ballin Borough is what this one suggests.
Dude, that one works. That one definitely works.
Yeah, like everything's got to be according to what that state is.
Oh, it's got to be the dog pound.
Oh, because I know. What was it, Ohio again? Something the Ballin. What was it?
Oh, the Ballin or the Buckeye Ballin Borough.
Yeah, that sounds. Yeah, that works perfectly for an adult.
Because don't you you don't want to? I mean, obviously, like you would be like if you're University of Florida, you're like, why is my mascot attached to Alligator Alcatraz? Then you're like, hold on a second.
That's actually cool.
Alligator is it's Florida.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's
don't get out in these swamp areas.
That's right. There's nothing more.
It's not safe.
Yes, Dude, I just love the fact that people are so spun up about this, like the left and the mainstream media, they're so spun up about this thing that they find this to be appalling. They find this to be awful. And all we're doing, again, this new presentation of conservative values, conservative media, we're taking everything that they've done and everything they get mad about, and we make fun of it.
Yes.
It's so easy. Like, how kids be like, oh, that dude got owned. That was a thing to say for a while. And that's what we're doing with the left. We're owning everything they do. And when they lash out about an ad like a Sydney Sweeney ad, we laugh it off and put it on the Sphere in Las Vegas. They have no standing. Nobody respects them. Nobody takes them serious.
I don't know how this occurred, but I'm glad it has. We are really the cool kids in the room. And whatever you want to think about that, we are every 80s connotation of like the bully, the cool kid, the whatever. We're the ones that are, hey, we're here to fix this. And if you want to complain about it, well, that's fine. You can go sit over in the corner with your blue hair and all your crazy ideas and your non-masculinity and men are terrible. And do whatever you want, and that's fine. And don't take part in this stuff.
Yeah, just melt down by yourself because we don't have time for it.
Because this always goes back, and it's the course of history. Soft men make hard times. Hard men make good times.
That's right.
This is what it is. We're right now in the hey, you need hard men.
That's right.
To make this thing work. We tried your soft stuff.
And it's
chaotic.
It fails every time, though.
The teacher's lounge makes it chaotic.
It fails every time. It's just like socialism. It fails every time. Every idea that they glom onto, that the left gloms onto, is a failure. Every one of them. Think about it.
As of now, it's where we've been going.
Who believes that Leah Thomas, whatever his real name is, should have been competing against Riley Gaines? Even people on the left don't support it.
It was a fervor during the time period based on people sitting at home being crazy. Then they went along with it because they were so scared of being canceled. When you had real censorship going on in this country, and people were consistently having the censorship come down on them. I think what the wild part was, we got into such a habit. And we were seeing this in different states. Remember how we used to have phone lines to call in if your neighbors had too many people at their home?
Oh, my God, yes. Yeah, I do.
Every time.
Oh, wow. We got to shorten the microphone. Is it back?
Dude.
No, you're not back. We've lost front office Los.
All right, do you have me?
There we go. Yeah,
you got to stop hitting the table.
Yeah.
You're causing the short.
Okay, yeah.
I was like, it's like every time you hit it, I'm like, oh, God, here we go. Oh, there it went again.
We lost it.
All right. What is happening is that when you had the scenario of all these Karens that got all involved in consistently telling on neighbors, then it turned into, it was almost like this drug of like, what else can I tell on? Who else can I get in trouble?
Dude,
who else can I point out?
It's hall monitor magnified.
Yeah, is what it turned into.
Elementary school hall monitor, when the kid that always felt left out, they got that dose of power. They couldn't wait to write your name down. I remember being in first grade at Antioch Elementary School with this happening and thinking that very thing. I didn't have the perspective. I had no idea why it was happening, but I knew that this one angry kid about once a week got picked, and he wrote, his list was longer than anybody else's. Anybody else, I remember the time I was a hall monitor, guess how many names I wrote down? 0.
Because it would turn into, well, I'm going to tell on Tug because I didn't like that he happened to have a display of Christianity. Okay, fine. That wouldn't do anything. Then it turned into, well, how many more things can I tell on Tug for?
That's right. That's what I'm saying.
And that's what it turned into over and over and over. And so how did all this stuff get allowed? Because at a certain point in this country, you just didn't want to be told on. You're just like, all right.
Fine.
That's why I'm saying the nerds, y'all go sit over there with your write-up pads, whatever. They would put names on that stuff. It's like, me and Tug are in charge. We ain't put your name. We're not writing your name down.
Never did. Never will. I have no desire to have power over anybody. It's just not in my DNA. And it's crazy to see how many people, they gravitate toward a political ideology like socialism, because what does it do? Creates that power that they so want. It's the hall monitor mentality. When we continue on Extra 106.3, 9 o'clock hour brought to you by Southern Exteriors. An addiction is really, really sad, but this type of addiction is the most strange I've ever heard of. Next on Extra 106.3.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Friday, August 8th. From the NFL, the Atlanta Falcons open up their preseason schedule tonight from Mercedes-Benz Stadium as the Detroit Lions will play their second preseason game after taking part in the Hall of Fame game last week. Kickoff is set for 7 o'clock. The Falcons plan to give extended time on the field to their rookies, including first-round picks Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr. The Atlanta Braves, their 3-game losing streak is over after a late-inning rally makes up for a 4-run deficit, beating the Miami Marlins 8-6 the final. Game 2 of 4 is set for tonight. Bryce Elder and Edward Cabrera will be on the mound. First pitch is set for 7:15. You can hear that game live on our sister station's brand new app, 680 The Fan. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
The private sector pension is pretty much gone now, but at Chandler Wealth Management, Craig Chandler has strategies to build in a personal pension. With more, here's Coach Pete.
We call it a financial fill-up strategy. And so if you'd like your own financial fill-up strategy, you get a share in the gains of the market of some of these devices here, but you never have a share in the loss. So your worst return is a 0. If the market's going down, you're not going to lose money, but you're not going to gain money. And then when you choose, you can get a lifetime income from this account that you can never outlive, both for you and your spouse. That's the magic right there. So most people's pension accounts is for one or the other, or you have to take a lot less and the spouse gets it. But again, most pensions I see are IRAs, individual retirement account. You can turn an individual retirement account into a joint income account if you do the strategies we educate you on when you come in.
Learn about it when you meet at no cost, no obligation with Coach Pete's local trusted advisor, Craig Chandler, Chandler Wealth Management, 800-419-6164, 800-419-6164, 800-419-6164.
Hi, I'm Chris Lalamia, owner of the Trusted Toolbox. Are home repairs piling up? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Relax. We've got you covered. From drywall dings and leaky faucets to deck repairs and trim replacement, we're your one-stop shop for everything for your home needs. No more juggling multiple contractors. Just call us at the Trusted Toolbox and we'll handle it. Your home deserves the best, and we don't want you breaking your back trying. Call the Trusted Toolbox today at 770-623-3097 or visit us at thetrustedtoolbox.com. The Trusted Toolbox, your one-stop shop for home repairs and more.
Hey, this is John Flading. I'm the president and owner of ATL Turf Co. We have become a highly sought-after turf installation company in the Atlanta and North Georgia luxury residential market. Big reason for that is our installers are ATL Turf Co. employees. We do not outsource labor. They are trained to be experts in the turf installation process, drainage, grading. Just go to atlturfco.com to schedule an appointment.
This is Bruce Hagan. The law in Georgia has changed, and if you have been injured in a car crash, it's going to be harder than ever to get insurance companies to treat you fairly. What you need is a real lawyer on your side, not some phony TV or billboard lawyer who doesn't even know how to get to the courthouse. I've been a Georgia super lawyer for 20 straight years, and we try cases and we win. We get results for our clients. Call me, get in touch, hagan-law.com. We are real lawyers who will win your personal injury case.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Military Matters.
A new warning from the Government Accountability Office that the U.S. industrial base's reliance on Chinese parts needed for most U.S. military weapons poses a national security threat the Pentagon continues to ignore. The Defense Department relies on more than 200,000 global suppliers to build weapons, but federal contractors are not contractually obligated to tell DoD from where their manufacturing components originate, like the titanium needed to build nuclear submarines, which often comes from hostile nations like China. In April, President Trump tasked Defense Secretary Hegseth to spearhead a strategy on how to reduce dependence on China by this October, a deadline that is fast approaching. Last year, the production of the F-35 fighter jet came to a standstill for months when Chinese magnets were found in the warplanes and the Pentagon had to find alternative suppliers. For Military Matters at the Pentagon, Jennifer Griffin, Fox News.
The only thing better than covering all these Trump wins is watching the left implode over it.
Donald Trump is entertaining the world while he's changing the whole freaking planet.
Extra 106.3 is committed to bring you the news you care about most. From Atlanta legends and conservative voices you've relied on for a generation. Proud to be Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Addiction is a serious thing. Addiction, when people are fighting it, I mean, it takes all that you have to break it. A friend of mine has dealt with his addiction for over 20 years, has not had a sip, and has kept himself squared away. He's talked about how challenging it is.
What a quitter.
Yeah, I know, right?
Good for him.
That's right. I give him a hard time sometimes. You know what's funny? He's always the DD. And he always makes fun of us. You know, he was like, man, you guys are out of control again. I'm glad I'm not. He was like, I'm glad I'm not that guy anymore.
When they talk about having to hit rock bottom to then see that, I think it gives you this perspective of, man, did I ever do that? That is not cool.
But can you imagine being addicted to something that most people have never even considered an addiction to? You've heard of drugs, you've heard of alcohol, you've heard of pornography, you've heard of addictions, all kinds of things. But not an addiction like Stephen Colbert has, Los.
He has addiction to politics to the point where losing $40 million a year, to the point where he looked at himself as, well, I'm the guy who's basically holding up the flag for liberalism, communism, socialism, and I'm using my late night show to do it. And even though you're looking at your numbers and going, well, why are my numbers falling? And probably he got to use the excuse, well, everybody in late night's falling. Not Gutfeld. Gutfeld beating all of you on a cable network.
And I just watched the segment this morning of him on Fallon. It was great. And it was something completely different than you usually see in late night.
Whereas when Gutfeld does his show, because of the variety of characters on there, the show, in my opinion, when I have watched it, I've gone, it's pretty lighthearted. Like, yes, they make fun of things, but it always stays pretty lighthearted. And they're very funny about attacking one another in a funny way. Kat Timpf will consistently make fun of her issues.
Yep.
Obviously before she was dealing with some cancer, she would joke around about her need to smoke.
Yeah.
She's like, I just need to smoke. like you're pregnant. I know, can't wait to get this baby outside of me. I just need to get a cigarette.
And I've seen women do that with wine. That love wine. They're like, I just can't wait to have the baby so I can have a glass of wine.
Have a glass of wine. So there was something lighthearted and fun about that. Well, let's take a listen as we go over to Stephen Colbert, who this was from the other night. And we had just gotten the news that when it comes to the mRNA vaccines, and that's an important factor, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. went through the numbers, and we talked about what Robert Malone, one of the developers of mRNA technology, said. It was not ready for prime time. And if you just think about what happened when it came to it being the delivery system for what was going to be your COVID shots, they told us it would stay in the arm and stay localized. It didn't. They said it would stay in your body for a limited amount of time and then it would not produce any more spike protein. That didn't happen. In fact, you can go get spike protein tests and see if it's still producing spike in your body. We were never told that it would cross the blood-brain barrier. It did. We were told that young people, don't have to worry about much of anything. For some reason, young men would deal with myocarditis. We were told with women, no, there's no issue with the ovaries, even though the Japanese found that when it came to the lab rats. It turns out it went to the ovaries. It caused a lot of menstrual issues with women. So again, a shot that was not ready for prime time. And so Robert F. Kennedy Jr., along with the rest of the FDA, along with the CDC, have decided that they are defunding, $1 billion? Basically, we're not spending money on this anymore in terms of using it as vaccine technology. That's what the decision was. This is not ready to be used for vaccine technology. We're not going to fund it. Now listen to Colbert and his response to this.
Oh, there's bad news of fans of living because Health Secretary RFK Jr. just pulled $500 million in funding for vaccine development. Now, we have 10 more months of this show, and I want to give a measured, nonpartisan response here. You roid out of Nepo
And the seals.
His response was F you.
Isn't it always that, though?
I mean, this is the guy who was dancing around to vaccine. All right?
But it's crazy.
This is only the real response.
What did he say to Donald Trump when Donald Trump talked about the show being canceled? I got something to say to Donald Trump. F you.
Is that it?
The answer
is that what we got?
Everything.
Is that all you really got here?
That's all he's got.
You're losing $40 million and your only response is F you.
He didn't point out that RFK Jr. has been a Democrat his entire life.
Perhaps when it comes to legacy Democrats, he comes from the biggest family of Democrats.
Right. Without a doubt. And then back to some of the things that were happening during COVID, because you pointed out all the issues that they said wouldn't happen that did. And I remember, because we talked about it, my sister-in-law struggled. That menstrual cycle thing was real.
Yep.
And she was horrified to mention
what happened.
it.
Yeah.
Well, but to talk about it. She was afraid to talk about it because of the censorship that had happened, because of the way that people had been treated on social media and in the public square for having questions or concerns, doctors that were pushing shots that didn't have any idea what was going to happen. She was afraid to ask about it. She was afraid to talk about it. That's where they want you.
Perhaps the most famous one was the Facebook groups that were popping up talking about vaccine responses. In this case, vaccine injuries. Like, this happened to me. They were all taken down by Facebook, largely but pressured by the federal government. Do not let these people organize and talk about this. So when my wife had hers, her only response to it was, well, we're done having kids anyway. Imagine having to listen to your husband tell you about these issues, deciding to go forward with this, and then when you did have an injury, this is how you had to solve it in your mind.
Yeah.
And again, is there vaccine products that work for people based on what they're dealing with? Yes. What we've been told and what I'm telling you is that mRNA technology as a delivery system for this is flawed. That's basically where we're just not spending money on this delivery system.
Which I have no problem with. I
do you have something else you want to do?
Yeah,
do we have something else that's been tested?
We'll try it.
We should not be at this point when it comes to, as RFK Jr. said, when it comes to dealing with respiratory illness, this delivery system, this technology has not been shown to be effective for it.
I want to go back to your wife just for a second because she's more liberal than you, and hopefully you're changing that a little bit, maybe a little bit. Was she, because of her answer, was she more like my sister-in-law who was afraid to talk about it, or did her politics influence that answer, do you think? I'm fascinated by this because my sister-in-law, she's a very faithful woman. Her faith's very important to her, so I assume she's more conservative, but she never talks politics, so I wouldn't know. And she's been my sister-in-law for 24 years now.
I think that when she had something that, in this case, when it comes to a menstrual cycle, that you've been dealing with for the better part of 30-some years, then suddenly when it goes haywire in a way that you've never experienced into your entire life. I mean, there are some people, like marathon runners. Marathon runners deal with inconsistent cycles based off of what their bodies do and how it chews up muscle and chews up energy. It just so they're used to it.
So for her, it's almost like a best case scenario. Good thing we're past.
My wife was never a marathon runner. She never took part in activities, whether it's drugs or workouts or anything else that would cause this to occur. And so I think for a lot of women, when they were looking for community, when something they knew was wrong happened and they knew it was based off of this, to get shut down.
That's what I'm saying, being fear.
To where they couldn't talk about it with other women.
Yeah. Having fear of talking about your experience in the land of the free.
And we're not even talking about shedding aspects where people couldn't turn off the production of the spike protein.
Yeah.
And where those lipo nanoparticles were going to. Good for RFK Jr. for just making it a point. We're not going to use this as a delivery system, or at least we're not. It's already out there. You can go get COVID shots all you want. By all means, have at it. Load them up.
I don't know why you would.
But when it comes to the next round of what we're going to design and deal with, at least we're not going to be paying for it, of this particular technology that showed it did not work in order to deliver a consistently safe option. Did it work for some people? Absolutely, sure. For whatever they're dealing with. But when you look at the amount of people that were injured by it, hurt by it, killed by it, man, you wouldn't even have a candy bar out on the market that would do this sort of damage and it would stay out there.
Just think about this. If this were August 8th, 2020, we'd have somebody calling in talking about how
you're going to kill people.
Because we had it as early or as late as 2 years ago.
It's like 2022 or so. Somebody's like, you're going to kill people. I'm like, I'm just giving you the data, man.
I'm just telling you the truth.
Keep listening to Matt Al. I'll keep listening to the doctors.
Yeah, the people that matter. The people that have the experience.
The non-political ones.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us this week. It's been extraordinary, and it doesn't happen without you. When you hear of a product or service used or advertised on the show that you're in need of, give the advertisers the first opportunity to earn your business because they share your values. I think it's so important to do that. I'm not saying just choose because you hear us, but give them the first chance to earn your business. That's the only thing we ask. Hope you have a great weekend. Glenn Beck is up next for Los and Jure. I'm Tug. Y'all come back now, you hear?
Live and local news talk continues at 3 p.m. with Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. It's the Kimmer Show, only on Xtra 106.3 and the Xtra app.